Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes are sweet and sexy. Have fun, enjoy the journey. Or just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. And not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade. Sipping motions of lemonade. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. There's a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Sack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Michegas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcakes are sweet and sassy. And not just a YouTube show. When you know. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
What's up? What's up? What's up, cupcakes? Happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, June 9th. And happy Dave Matthews Band Eve to those of you who celebrate or have been celebrating. Celebrate we will, because life is short, but sweet for certain. Hey, how's everybody doing? Here we go again. Worldwide Privacy Tour continues. It's continuing. Did any of you? Oh, wait a second. I think I need to adjust my volume from yesterday. Hold, please. 1 second. Okay. Now it's going to be automatic and much better. Much better. Well, the HOS plaintiffs want their privacy. They want their privacy, but they also want attention. It's a conundrum. It's an enigma. What are we doing here? That's your favorite Dave song ever, Two Step, says Caroline Ray. You know what I'm talking about, girl. You know what? Guess how much I love you. Guess how much I love you. First of all, that's one of my favorite children's books ever. Guess how much I love you. Second of all, guess how much I love you, because I really, 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 really did not want to come inside today. But here I am. I'm here. I'm with you because I love you with all of my heart. And I had to tell you about this amended complaint that was filed by HOS plaintiffs. Jennifer McKay, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins. So much to say, so much to say, so much to say. I have so much to say. And they have so much to say because despite the fact that they want their privacy and they don't want anybody talking about them, they're adding so much more information to their amended complaint to try to get Aidan Carney to stop talking about them when it's only going to make everyone else in the world talk about them more because of all of the things that they say in their amended complaint and all of the footnotes that they've linked to their amended complaint. And we're going to have to do it again. We're going to have to click on the footnotes and watch them. Because if we didn't do that, what are we doing here? What are you doing here, Stuart? You guys remember the Californians from Saturday Night Live? One of my favorite sketches of SNL ever. What are you doing here, Stuart? Take the 405 to the 101. Get off at Sepulveda. You took Sepulveda. And then have it dump you off on Mulholland where you belong. I mean, you just can't make it up. But you know what? If you want to footnote all this stuff and you want to link it in the footnotes, the problem is twofold. Remember, Judge Gilday wasn't happy about all the footnotes. He said, you got a 50-page complaint with 60 footnotes. Do you expect me to click on all these footnotes? I'm summarizing. He said, for the record, it would be good if you had a thumb drive of all these things downloaded. Because here's the problem. Some of the footnotes that they have now linked to their amended complaint no longer exist. They no longer exist. Gigi's back again, and she's got your back. Gigi's here, and she's got your back. And Leighton heard the song, and she hit the wall on her way in here to tell me Miss Melanie is on, as I am not in front of the computer. Leighton, you have really good taste. You have really good taste, and you also have a really good Gigi, because she's here always. So take good care of her, because you know she's recuperating from that shoulder surgery. So Leighton, I know you're probably waiting on her hand and foot. Bring her whatever she needs, because she loves you, and we love you too. And I love the name Leighton. I love the name Leighton because, you know, I'm a Gossip Girl fan, and, you know, Leighton Meester and all. The Leighton Meester and all of it. Thank you, Gigi, for giving 5 memberships too. I saw your super chat first because it popped up, and on top is here, on top of the super sticker. So we're here, and we're gonna click the footnotes, and we're gonna watch them because they want us to watch them. This is what it makes no sense to me. Did you see the Afro Man cupcake on the thumbnail today? Here it is. Thank you, Charissa, for making this for me. This is the Afro Man. This is, I think it's on that side because I'm mirrored. It's the Afro Man cupcake because we're here. We watch the Afro Man trial, and the thing is, if you just want something to go away and you don't want people to talk about you, don't sue them. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Afro Man saga, Afro Man is a rapper from all the way back in the year 2000. He had a song. It was a very popular song. It is still popular today because I got high. I was going to go to work, but then I got high. I forget what the rest of the words are, but I'm pretty sure you know the song. And some person who had a personal beef against Afro Man, a snitch, a woman, I guess she had a beef against him, or she was trying to get a deal on some of her own charges, made up some wild story that Afro Man was trafficking and had kidnapped some women and had them in a dungeon in his basement in his house in Ohio. So when Afro Man wasn't home, they got some kind of warrant, some kind of shady warrant, and they broke down his door and they broke down his gate and they stormed his house and they went in there and they looked in his suit pockets and they didn't find any kidnapping victims in his suit pockets, and they didn't find a dungeon in the basement because he has no basement. But they found something like $400 in his suit jacket pocket. And there was a lot of allegations about the money, because when Afro Man went to pick up his money from the evidence room, because, you know, there were no charges because, you know, they didn't find it. And then I got high I think it's because I got high. Then I got high, whatever it is. What had happened was Afro Man had cameras inside his house. And so he had surveillance footage of these guys, all these guys banging his door down. One of the cops in the kitchen, there was a lemon pound cake on the island, Mama's lemon pound cake. And he stopped what he was doing as he was looking for the kidnapping victims, and he looked so lovingly at that lemon pound cake. And what did Afro Man do when he asked for them to give him money to fix his destroyed property and they wouldn't do it? He took their surveillance video, he made videos out of it, he created some songs, and he went viral. Lemon Pound Cake is one of those songs. Oh, we have a lemon pound cake that we sometimes put in the corner to remind us of the fun times that we had watching that trial. So Lemon Pound Cake takes off. Randy Walters is one of the cops who's in the house, and Randy Walters is a SOB, and Afro Man wrote a song about it. Now the entire world knows that Randy Walters is an SOB because these cops who were doing this search of his house decided to sue Afro Man for defamation, and they wanted all the profits from his viral videos and the lemon pound cake merch. And they lost big time. The jury was like, hell no, get out. You lose. You get nothing. Good day, sirs and ma'ams. And they got nothing. But what happened was everyone now worldwide knows that Randy Walters just might be an SOB. And then the lemon pound cake cop got up on the stand and he was like, oh yeah, it doesn't really bother me. Okay, you're suing for defamation. You have to prove damages, sir. I still want a lemon pound cake t-shirt. I think I'm going to have to find them. And so that I now call the Streisand effect the Afro Man effect, because as soon as you start drawing attention to yourselves, people are going to talk about it. There are some new allegations in this new amended complaint filed by the HOS plaintiffs with all sorts of what they allege are new acts of defamation, mostly by Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy. Because you know Aiden if you watch his shows. I know Aiden from watching his shows and from doing some shows with him and going on his fundraiser and going to the Wilbur to roast him. And he speaks his mind, and he doesn't shut up. He doesn't shut up. Because he doesn't say that he doesn't think that what he's saying is defamatory, because he fully believes it. He fully believes it. Many of you believe it too, because many of you are not brainwashed by Turtle Boy. And if you are, raise your hand. Many of you believe that these particular plaintiffs may have had something to do with the murder of John O'Keefe. And it's not because Turtle Boy brainwashed you. It's because you watched the trials, you read the motions, you dissected the sus behavior, you looked at phone records, you looked at evidence, you listened to the medical examiner and Dr. Laposada and Dr. Russell and the witnesses from ARCA, and even Ian Whiffen, the prosecution's own expert, who said that it is possible that John O'Keefe was inside the house at some point because of his circle. And many of you have common sense too. And some of you may be brainwashed by me. Oh, I made a footnote. I'm in a footnote, and so is Kyle Sharkey. Shout out to Kyle Sharkey, who also made a footnote in this amended complaint. Remember, in the first complaint, Andrea Burkhart got a footnote and Bob Motta got a footnote. Looks like we made it. I made a footnote. It's a Turtle Boy video reacting to Melanie Little, and they link that in the footnote. And so there's that. Not that I'm excited to be in it, but listen, they keep threatening to sue me too, and every other YouTuber who's ever uttered their name or ever read a court document or whoever has an opinion about anything. That's what they're doing. But they're not doing it directly, actually. They're having their minions do it. And they're alleging that Turtle Boy essentially was Karen Reed's minion, that he just did whatever Karen Reed wanted to spread her false narrative about them being involved in the murder and or cover-up of John O'Keefe. So there's that. But before we get there, let's look at our motivational quote of the day, because who doesn't need some motivation every day? Albert Camus said, today is Tuesday, June 9, 2026. It's today's quote. Back to one. Albert Camus said, real generosity toward the future lies in giving all to the present. Real generosity toward the future lies in giving all to the present. Give everything to the present. You know what generosity is? Use guys. You know what use guys did yesterday? Yesterday we did 3 shows yesterday together. 3 of them. 2 of them were on the Proctor problem. One of them was on the Patrick Noonan's recorded interview that we got a hold of. Thank you to Trial Channel. And we watched Noonan's interview regarding the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. And because we used Grant Smith Ellis's stream for the morning, because he recorded the Zoom, I said, come on, you guys, let's be generous. Go on over, subscribe to Grant Smith Ellis's channel. He's seen the light. He has seen the light. He no longer believes that Karen Reed is guilty. Let's get him to 10,000 subs. He was at something like 9,270, 9,280 or something like that. I'm happy to report to you that you did do the Lord's work, because bygones were sometimes, right? He's up to 10,200 subscribers. So he broke 10,000 yesterday, in large part, I am sure, to many of you. And so I thank you for that. Because look, forgiveness is a thing. I'm going to send him a sweatshirt. Don't dare me. And don't, right, it's TNN. His channel is TNN. It's the Towel News Network. It's the Towel News Network. So you know what? You did it, you guys. We did it, Tommy. You did it. All right. Another interesting little tidbit that came out yesterday. Oh, wait, we forgot our empowerment card. How could I forget? All right, here we go. I'm too old to hold a grudge. You know, I'm too old. I'm too old to hold a grudge. I was mad about it, though, when it happened, when he was blaming me and telling people to. Never mind. We're going to forget about that for now. Trust me when I tell you I don't forget. With him, you know, I feel like there's a good side of him, and I feel like he was really duped and brainwashed. But I feel like he was trying to do something nice for his friend Lindsay, and he was fed a lot of BS by a lot of people who were trying to make him believe that this not Haley Walbrecht was me and releasing Lindsay's phone extraction, and that was a horrible thing to do. And I would never do something like that, but he doesn't know me. He had people brainwashing him. All right, here's your empowerment card. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. Ready? A girl in the right shoes can conquer the world. A girl in the right shoes can conquer the world. It's a little nod to Sarah Jessica Parker's character from Sex and the City. So there's that. Right, exactly. And sometimes when you look at a person and you see the way they are, and I tell my kids this a lot, like about bullies and stuff, look at who's raising them. Sometimes you got to look at the parents and you got to say, oh, now I get why this person is the way they are because of their parents. Right. And look, that's a South Park reference, right? The towel thing. And we have our whole South Park privacy tour. I bet he's watched season 26, episode 2 of South Park, the Harry and Meghan Markle of Canada worldwide privacy tour that they went on by going on every single talk show in Canada, every morning show with their "We Want Privacy" signs, and then their house and their curtain twitching. You know what I'm talking about because you've seen it before. Like Mackenzie Shirilla, a lot of people are saying, yeah, yes. All right, here's an interesting little tidbit that popped up that I didn't get a chance to cover yesterday because we were so busy with all of the things that happened with Proctor's deposition, and then it didn't happen, even though they won. It didn't happen. All right, let's take a look at this. This is a letter that hit the court docket that was filed yesterday from She and Finney, the law firm who represents Karen Reed. That's Aaron Rosenberg's firm, or the firm that he is with. And this is actually in the court docket in the O'Keefe versus Reed case, the wrongful death case. It is document number 111. And this has to do with Colin Albert's deposition. Hold on, let's see how big I can make this for you. Lawyers don't like being misquoted. They don't like being falsely accused. And remember yesterday when Damon Seligson, God bless him, kept fighting and fighting and fighting with the judge because he wanted to clear up the record. And the part of the judge's order, I think, that talked about, not giving Michael Proctor notice of the lawsuit that was being filed and talking about, how the rules of professional responsibility were mentioned in the order. And I think he really wanted to defend himself, and Judge Gilday didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it. But you have to make a record. And he really didn't let him make a record. And then in the end, he won. But Proctor's deposition is going to be, I don't know, end of June, mid-July, whatever. No big whoop, no rush. So this is the letter that was written to the judge by Aaron Rosenberg, dated June 6th, filed June 8th to the judge regarding Paul O'Keefe versus Karen Reed, wrongful death case. Dear Judge Gilday, counsel for Colin Albert, a third-party witness in the above captioned case, has baselessly alleged that I intentionally misrepresented facts or misled the court during the status conference on June 3rd, 2026 in this case, and has insisted that I clarify the record. I understand that Mr. Albert's counsel attempted to raise these claims in open court at a hearing on another matter concerning Mr. Albert when I was not present, but Your Honor did not entertain the discussion because no relevant motion was before the court. Okay. Did we watch this June 3rd conference? Am I forgetting that we watched it? Because maybe we didn't. So if it wasn't in the it's counsel for it's Colin Albert's plaintiff's lawyer in the defamation case, the case that we're here to talk about today. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So that was not Chris Maddie that spoke. The other guy spoke. Tuxbury, Jimbo Tuxbury. Okay. But okay, let's go on. At the June 3rd conference, as part of a lengthy back and forth with the court about the status of many depositions in this case, I referenced the 6 depositions that Mr. Albert's counsel had unilaterally purported to cancel at 9:20 p.m. the night before the conference. I then referred in passing to Mr. Albert's deposition and his refusal to comply with the subpoena my office served on him. When I said that he had refused to appear, it was not to suggest that Mr. Albert took the position immediately upon service of the subpoena that he would never appear under any circumstances. That is not what I said. Instead, I was referring to the fact that the same counsel that sent the 9:20 p.m. email had, on behalf of Mr. Albert, refused to produce documents in response to his subpoena, delayed responding for weeks to proposed narrowing of subpoena terms, failed to provide additional reasonable available dates after the deposition was postponed, not canceled, because of the document dispute, emailed in late May to say that Mr. Albert would only be available for the 13 days that followed, after which he would be unavailable indefinitely, and then coordinated with plaintiff's counsel to schedule a new separate deposition pursuant to a new subpoena from the plaintiff's notice 6 days before such deposition, in direct violation of Rule 30b-1. When I stated in response to your question that Mr. Albert refused to appear for deposition, that is what I was referring to. As I told you at the status conference, the conduct described above is the subject of a pending motion to compel, which we will file promptly once we receive Mr. Albert's opposition. But rather than arguing the merits of this dispute, Mr. Albert's counsel has elected to launch false accusations of intentional misrepresentation at opposing counsel and demand clarification. I do not think this is the best use of the parties or the court's time and resources. However, at Mr. Albert's counsel's insistence, I am providing this explanation. XOXO, Aaron Rosenberg, with a CC to counsel of record. So it seems like Colin Albert did appear for a deposition, but it wasn't pursuant to the subpoena of Karen Reed's attorneys. It was pursuant to a new subpoena served by, that would be Diller's office. So Diller's office, rather than Colin Albert's comply with the subpoena served on them by Karen Reed's office, which also asked for him to bring a number of documents and other things, perhaps. And they were in the process, it seems like, of trying to narrow down what he should produce and what he should not produce. Then all of a sudden they said, well, he's only going to be available for a couple more days. And so instead, Diller serves a subpoena on Colin Albert, and they all show up to take his testimony, maybe, and then maybe the Reed team didn't show up. I'm not sure. And that's a great question. Emma says, is this proof they're working together against Karen? I don't know. But I think it's no surprise to anyone, or it's not no secret that they're all friends, right? I mean, John O'Keefe's family did not sue any of the HOS plaintiffs or HOS defendants, when I've always said all along they should have sued everybody, because now it's too late. So seems like, I mean, it's the reason it's so confusing is because we don't refer to Colin Albert as Mr. Albert. When we think of Mr. Albert, we think of Brian Albert. But he too is Mr. Albert. But he's like, I want to correct the record. I did not intentionally misrepresent anything to the court, but I want to clarify it for my benefit. And I guess because Colin Albert's attorney wants me to, which I guess Colin Albert's attorney is Tuxbury, but why didn't he just name him? So it's a little bit confusing, this letter, but I think we can figure out what it means. But it's still unclear about whether he appeared or not. But his people, his minions, their minions on Tuxbury wasn't there. Well, so which attorney for Colin Albert are they talking about? Make Mine and Minnie? Isn't Tuxbury the attorney for Colin Albert, all the House plaintiffs? So this is confusing, but it is in the Paul O'Keefe case. I don't know if he got separate outside, if he has separate outside counsel. At one time, his attorney was Joe Krowski Jr. all the way back in the day. Diller spoke for him. Diller spoke for Colin Albert. I don't know. I'm getting more confused by the day. Diller did say that it was him who disposed him. I see what you did there. It's deposed, but one of the news anchors said that the other day. Oh, Peter went back and played the video. Okay. Diller said that he did the deposition, but counsel for Colin Albert is not Diller. Counsel for Colin Albert would be Tuxbury. Maybe he said it to him some other time or in a letter or something, but not directly at the hearing, the June 3rd hearing, because he wasn't there because he's not a party to it. Right? Right? Oh, you guys just watched it on Lawyer Okay. AJ said Colin was not deposed. He said that, though, on Billy Bush, right? Not in court. And so it was. It was the June 3rd conference was on the O'Keefe versus Reed case. They went back and forth about the depositions. Mr. Albert's case, Mr. Albert's counsel would be Tuxbury, though. So this is why it's unclear to me. He refused to comply with the subpoena, meaning he refused to send us all the documents that we asked him for. But the same counsel that sent the 9:20 p.m. email had, on behalf of Mr. Albert, Colin Albert, refused to produce documents in response to the subpoena, delayed responding for weeks. They tried to narrow down what he was going to produce, failed to provide any reasonable dates after the deposition was postponed. It was not canceled, it was postponed because of the documents that they couldn't agree to. Emailed in late May to say that Mr. Albert would only be available for 13 days to file, right? Because we saw he was sworn in too. He enlisted in the Army during wartime. And maybe he was shipped off already. I don't know if he's at boot camp or what. Then coordinated with the plaintiff's counsel to schedule a new separate deposition pursuant to a new subpoena from the plaintiff. So they probably said, okay, we subpoenaed him for this and such a day. If you want to come, here's the day. I know we need a whiteboard. We need red string. We need thumbtacks. We need all of it. And so that's what he was referring to. But Mr. Albert's counsel has elected to launch false accusations of intentional misrepresentation at opposing counsel, meaning me, Aaron Rosenberg. However, and this is the only reason he's writing this letter, at Mr. Albert's counsel's insistence, I am providing this explanation. This judge takes no crap. Yeah, somebody needs to make a whiteboard. So that's part of the record now, too. That's part of the record. But what we're here to talk about today, it's kind of like a public apology, basically. What we're here to talk about today is the amended complaint. And so what I need to do is I need to close this and put those up. And was there something else I want to show you before we get into the thick of it all? No, I think we can move right to it. What I did and what I did last time. I did the same thing that I did last time this time. And so that's why I didn't want to cover this yesterday. I wanted to cover it today. Just give me a moment to put both of these complaints side by side. And then put them up on the screen for you. All right, now you have to go to the left and then you have to go to the right. Hold, please. To the right. To the left, everything you own in a box to the left. Okay, wait, hold on. All right, just talk amongst yourselves for a second. I saw Emily Baker had some major technology problems today too, so it's not just me. It's everyone. Okay, Unc. My kids say that to me when it's like the new boomer thing. Okay, Unc. I didn't even know what that meant. I'm like, well, what does that even mean? And they're like, yeah, okay, Unc. All right, so this is on the left, this is on the right, and then I'm going to do a really cool thing so I can show you both documents at the very same time. But I guess I got to take these all down. This is not working. Oh, for the love of the traveling Mary, just give me a second. You have to go on the right side and you have to go on the left side, and then we share the whole window. That's how it works, kids, okay? Fine. This is how the way it's going to be. All right, here we go. So here's what we're doing. The first complaint was 50 pages long, and it had something like 60 footnotes because the judge said so. And the second complaint, the amended complaint, is now 58 pages. I don't know how many footnotes. Oh, yeah, I oughta. All right. You come here. I had it all set up, but then I had to show you something on the screen, so it screwed everything up. Okay. I put the complaints side by side. Okay. I am going to show you everything that was added and everything that was deleted, but it might take more than one show because remember what happened when we did the original complaint? It was 4 shows long and 20 hours long because we watched all the video. All the video. All right. Make Mine and Minnie is going to help. Is helping. It was the June 3rd hearing when Diller spoke for Colin. The judge basically asked him, how do you know any of this about Colin? Oh, excellent. Excellent. Thank you for clarifying. I think I remember now. Eliminating says I was going to download the links, but then I got high. Thank you for your 10, sweet pea. JR Keeper says it looks like we made it. Look how far we've come. Up, baby. Shania Twain. Thanks for all you do, Melanie. Thank you for your 5, JR Keeper. You know, I was thinking song lyrics. Donnie says, Mel, you said this yesterday, and I loved it so much I wrote it down. Talk about an inspirational quote. Buy the tickets, do the things, make the memories. Oh, thank you. Maybe I'll make a calendar someday. Maybe somebody will quote me in a calendar one day. Thank you for your 5. I say that all the time. Those are my words of wisdom. Somebody said, I just turned 40. You have advice. I said, yeah, that's my advice. Buy the tickets, do the things, make the memories, especially with your kids, because they don't stick around forever. That's why I'm doing everything with my kids now before they all go off, all 3 go to college in the fall. And then I'll be on YouTube 24 hours a day because I'll be so lonely and you'll keep me company, right? Rusty Bedspring says if Norfolk County knew what they were doing, they would make Turtlebite testifying pay-per-view. He's going to crush it on Cross. It's going to be wild. Is pay-per-view even a thing anymore? I guess it is for like certain kinds of fights and stuff. Thank you for your 10. Jade, I love a redemption story. You're welcome, Grant Smith Ellis. Oh yeah. Well, we have a you're welcome for that. Oh wait, that's not it. I do that all the time.
You're welcome.
I mean, how much do we love Afro Man?
You're welcome.
And how much do we love Cardi B?
Hello.
Hello. Hello, I'm here.
All of the funny cases that we've covered together, right? Not that this is funny in any way, shape, or form, but is anybody watching the Rebecca Grossman civil trial? Wow, that plaintiff's lawyer is right out of central casting, that guy. They've already been awarded $176 million. Horrific story out of California. The family of the two little boys who were killed by Rebecca Grossman drunk driving with her ex MLB player boyfriend. $176 million in damages. They have now just gone through the punitive phase, and they had punitive argument closings today. And I guess the jury's out now, trying to decide how much they're going to get in punitive damages. Cupcakes for Justice. Thanks for gifting a membership. Karen D. Squall, Mark Safe, and Happily Brainwashed by Melanie Little. Love you, Melanie. Oh, I love you more, Karen. Thank you. Elf gifting a membership. Thank you. Look at this. Gigi with a $50 super chat says, I have 102 pairs of shoes. That commercial that says if you have too many pairs of shoes, sell them on whatever that site is. A woman can never have too many pairs of shoes as long as a mouse is not living in the box. That's a crazy story. I told you, right? I love you guys. I listen to you always. Thank you, Chi for your very generous 50. Oh, we went to see Backrooms last night. Has anybody seen Backrooms yet? I really liked it a lot. What I like most about it is that it was directed by a 20-year-old YouTuber. I love that for all of us. It's breaking box office records everywhere. It is the highest grossing A24 film ever. Ever. Thank you, Elle, for gifting it a membership. All right, let's move on. People get mad when I take too much time talking and I don't start right away, but I'm just doing it as a courtesy to, help you guys get in here. Okay, here we go. On the left of your screen is the original complaint filed by Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins. On the right side of your screen is the first amended complaint, which they are entitled to file as a matter of right. First complaint was filed 4/16/2026, and the amended complaint was filed just on the 5th. Today's the 9th, so I guess this was last week. Kind of flew under the radar, I think, a little bit. Not really sure why. Thank you for being here, Debbie J. I'm so glad you're here too. And thank you, Sassy Desk Diaries, for becoming a member. So on the left-hand side is the original complaint. The yellow highlighted portions are everything that I highlighted that I just wanted to highlight with you during our first reading. First reading according to the gospel of the HOS defendants, who are now the HOS plaintiffs. And the first amended complaint, which I have color-coded for you. Everything in green is new. And then I think there's some things in pink that I've highlighted just because I want to talk about them. And I'm sure this font is not big enough for anyone, but this is what we are, the only thing we can work with, because StreamYard does not allow me to share two screens at once. So I have to share them both on. It's a whole thing. You don't even want to know the details. Okay. All right. So we've done this before, but we're going to talk about all the added stuff. As far as the jurisdiction and venue, two things have been added to this complaint to clarify some of the jurisdiction and venue issues. Paragraph 5 is new. This case was originally filed in Barnstable County Superior Court pursuant to Massachusetts General Law 223, Section 1, since at least one party, Brian Higgins, resides in Barnstable County. And on May 27th, 2026, pursuant to MGL 211, I think that's B, Section 10, the court ordered the case to be transferred to Plymouth County Superior Court. That's right. We talked about that a lot too, because if these plaintiffs either teamed up with Brian Higgins so that they could get into Barnstable County, because one of the venue requirements is that one of the plaintiffs or one of the parties has to live there. And they were forum shopping. If they were forum shopping and really wanted to be in Barnstable for whatever reason, it was removed from Barnstable without a motion to change venue by the Chief Justice, who said, we're taking this case, we're plucking it out of Barnstable. We're going to give it to Judge Gilday because he's already handling the O'Keefe versus Reed wrongful death case. And so Judge Gilday, much to his dismay, is fully familiar with most of the facts and circumstances surrounding these cases that all have the same players involved. Can I change from green to pink? Hard to see. Oh, there's always one. It's already done. Like, what do you want me? You want me to just do, like, just change it? Oh, see, now I just screwed up the whole thing. Hold on. It's not going to, I know it's going to be hard to see. There are only limited colors here. So if I change to pink, it's still going to be not easy to see. Do you see? Do you see? I mean, I love you, Cupcakes for Justice, but I am not a cupcake. I can't please everyone. My key is already done, and this is what it is. If you can't see it, go over to the Mass Court's website and download your own copy. It is free. All right, and that's what they added there, that the case has been transferred. All of this remains the same. So everything where there's no highlighting on the right means it's all the same. Footnote 1 has just changed from, on the old version, it was this complaint. Now it just says first amended complaint. As of right now, the paragraph numbering is the same. It's going to change because they're going to add a lot of stuff to the amended complaint. So the numbering is going to change. The first change appears in paragraph 25. And in the new complaint, it reads as follows. This is when they're talking about the intermediary, Natalie the German, and how Reed used this woman, Natalie, to correspond with Aiden Carney to conceal their relationship and create a basis upon which Karen could plausibly deny her role in Carney's false claims. Everything that you see here in green is all new. Pursuant to this scheme, Carney agreed to and did publicize and widely disseminate Reed's false claims about the plaintiffs and others in an effort to destroy the reputations of these individuals so that Reed could evade responsibility for causing the death of O'Keefe. That is all pretty much the same. Now this is all new. Carney acted on behalf of Reed in publishing defamatory statements about the plaintiffs to assist Reed in her trial by harassing the witnesses, harming their reputations, and tainting the jury pool with false claims and intimidating them to not testify or change their testimony. Carney has repeatedly acknowledged that his work was done on behalf of Reed, including crudely stating in May of 2026, quote, Reed couldn't have done shit without me, end quote. I'm sorry. That I find hilarious. Out of all the things that Aiden Carney says, this is what you think is crude? Reed couldn't have done shit without me. That's the thing that you're going to say is crude? Wow. Okay. Have you heard any of Proctor's text messages? Any of Good's text messages? Save your adjectives maybe for a better time, but okay. In addition, this is all new. Carney entered into this scheme with the intent and expectation that his publication of Reed's defamatory statements and his own defamatory and outrageous conduct in harassing and intimidating the witnesses, including plaintiffs, would bring him notoriety, expand his audience, and increase his personal fortune. That is, from the outset, Carney sought to monetize his defamation and willingly defamed, harassed, and tormented the plaintiffs for that purpose. Do you think that's why he did it? Or do you think that maybe, just maybe, he was trying to figure out who killed John O'Keefe too? Just like all of you sitting at home, the armchair detectives. If you're talking about stuff, here's the business model of YouTube. If you're talking about stuff that's interesting that people want to hear, they will watch you. They will watch you. They will contribute to your channel because YouTube is free. Okay. It's free for most people, unless, of course, you choose, and I highly recommend that you do, get yourself YouTube Premium and you will never see another commercial again. And I don't play commercials on my live streams, so you don't see them. But on the replay, a lot of people complain too many commercials. It's not up to me. How do you think YouTube makes money? It's free content. Right. Or maybe trying to figure out what happened. And he wasn't even monetized during that time. Right. How long will we have to put up with these idiots? Says Linda. Well done. No, I'm sorry, Dawn. The member emojis on an iPhone, there is a big problem. Emily Baker's been talking about it. And there's something going on with the YouTube platform and iPhones. And so people can't use their member emoji. I can't even use it from my own phone. It is so worth it. You can get a student membership. You can get YouTube Lite or something. They have a lot of YouTube Premium Lite. It is so worth it. If you don't have it, I highly recommend. I don't make any money if you get it. So I'm not promoting it to make money. But that is the business model of YouTube, okay? It is a free platform for people to watch things from content like this, long form, to shorts, to people playing video games, music videos. It's got everything. You want a menu, you want a recipe, you can find it. You want to figure out how to fix a clog in your drain, you can find videos to teach you how to do anything. I learned how to service my own pool from watching YouTube videos. I once had to refire my oil burner. I did that by watching a YouTube video instead of waiting for the guy to come, the HVAC guy. You can do anything and it's free. So STFU with your, this is why he defamed you so that he could get fame and money. He found it interesting, just like all of you did. If you switch to a laptop, you can use your emojis. Thank you, Zoe. Okay, moving on. And I will also point out that for 10 years prior to John O'Keefe's murder, Aidan Carney also had a platform and he was writing his blogs and other things. And he also, you know, was making money that way too. So you're not that important, but your story is. Moving on. Paragraph 29 is new. And adds this: Reed directly and through her counsel provided other selective and distorted information to Carney that she purportedly obtained from federal law enforcement authorities. Reed and her counsel knew that this information was not public. Neither Reed nor her counsel knew that this information was not public. No, I read that wrong. Let me go back. All right. Why do people call me when they know I'm on the air? I don't get it. Reed directly and through her counsel provided other selective and distorted information to Carney that she purportedly obtained from federal law enforcement authorities. What was distorted about it? You mean the TUI request documents? Prove it. Reed and her counsel knew that this information was not public. Neither Reed nor her counsel were authorized to share such information with Carney. Reed and her counsel laundered this information through Carney so that he would then publish it in furtherance of their defamation of the plaintiffs. Well, you know what's so weird about that paragraph is that it's not footnoted at all. So for all of your 60 footnotes in your original complaint that you have receipts for that you want everybody to know about, where's the receipt on that? This is also new. Indeed, Reed and her counsel would thereafter proffer Carney's reporting with respect to the federal investigation in open court in an attempt to convey that their statements to the court regarding the federal investigation were independently corroborated. This is commonly known as circular reporting, a practice in which information is laundered or disseminated to the media and later cited as an independent source despite originating from the same underlying source. What? Elf says, then how come they aren't suing her attorneys? They're entitled to litigation privilege, and a lot of the stuff that they said to Karen is all privileged also. But I think that you're right. I think they may be trying to get around that because they do mention Yannetti in here and Jackson a number of times. And they're also trying to badmouth them in their public filings too. So that's interesting. They're alleging a violation. I mean, they're not outright saying it, but if we read right, that receipt must be buried in the middle of a city block long CVS receipt, says Zoe. Okay, where's your receipts on that? You're essentially, what they're doing here is accusing Karen Reed and her attorneys of leaking federal information that was under a protective order to Carney, such as what? What are the examples of that? I'm not hearing any examples of that. You're just going to make baseless allegations? Does anybody know what they're talking about? Because they're not telling us. Excuse me for 1 second while I try and just fix this screen over here. Tell me your thoughts on that. Full screen tile. Okay, that's what I need. And then this has to go away. And I guess all these screens have to come over here. If anybody ever develops a better platform than StreamYard, I mean, I would love to know about it because this is painful trying to navigate this. If you know, you know. If you don't want to know. Okay. I think I've got it. By George, I think she's got it. They're using laundered in the Donna Adelson sense, says Corey Hopkins. The Queen Corey Hopkins is here. Not the legal sense. What are they? I mean, what do you think they're trying to say here? Where are the receipts on it? I'm not seeing any receipts. I'm not seeing any footnotes here. But let's keep going. Yes, go Golden Knights. 8 p.m. Eastern. We got to be out of here by then. Here's another new paragraph, which is in paragraph 29. Read directly and through your counsel. No, that's what we just read, 29 and 30. Footnote 5, it looks like here is also new. On April 18th, 2023, defendant's defamation campaign went public. When Carney published the first of 2 parts of his Canton cover-up series, footnote 5 says, as of this date of this filing, the series is now up to 550 parts. I mean, that's dedication to a subject, isn't it? Corey Hopkins pointing out that if they had receipts on leaking federal info, it would be front and center in the complaint. It doesn't exist. Of course it would. But they want their privacy. They don't want anybody talking about this. So we're going to talk about it because it's a public filing. Let me see what the old footnote 5 said. The old footnote 5 said it was up to 545 parts, and now it's up to 550. He only wrote 5 parts of Canton cover-up in between the first and second filing of the complaint. Okay. Paragraph 34 has been added to. It is the paragraph that starts with "in reality." In reality, this blog post by Carney, like numerous other defamatory statements that he made, was funneled by Reed to her accomplice, Carney, with knowledge that he would publish it on her behalf. That's the only part that's new, on her behalf. And it adds a new footnote. Which reads, ironically, the April 18th, 2023 post was not actually Carney's first blog concerning the investigation and prosecution of Reed. Just weeks after O'Keefe's death in February of 2022, after the district attorney's office publicly identified the key evidence, including providing details about O'Keefe's injuries, Carney declared during his show, "No doubt she killed him because the taillight was out." And that's Turtle Boy Live, episode 454, Don't Hate Your Kids, published February 10th, 2022, which was, what, 8 days? 8 days after Karen Reed's arraignment. He also noted that Reed was drunk. Carney's only question was whether she hit him by accident or intentionally. Upon joining Reed's defamation scheme, however, he has blindly followed Reed and recklessly disregarded voluminous evidence that he previously admitted points to her culpability, including her broken taillight. I'm sorry, do you think that helps you? Do you think that this footnote helps you? Or do you think that it proves simply that he actually investigated it? Because right away, you know, I know, we know, I think it was WBZ, published, and it's still out there. There's still a clip of it. We've showed it many times. When talking about the Karen Reed case, investigators tell the I-team investigators were told by reliable sources that ring camera footage exists of the incident. And they took Karen Reed's car into custody. Right. Because they said on the news there was ring footage. That's right. Is anybody going to dig deeper into that and find out where they got their information? Because you will notice it was around the time of the group text messages when the media was in D&E Pizza. And Matt McCabe said, "Tell him the guy never went in the house. Tell Chris to ask some questions." Did Chris Albert, who owns D&E Pizza, talk to the media while they were in his pizzeria getting a slice or a hero or whatever? It was WBZ, Channel 4. I don't know. Does the timing line up? I'm sure somebody can figure that out. But to me, him questioning what happened and then changing his opinion on it is because he actually did the research. It wasn't because Karen Reed roped him into some scheme. Upon joining Reed's defamation scheme, you think that's what happened here? This guy, if nothing else, Aiden Carney comes with receipts, okay? If nothing else, he comes with receipts. And guess what? When you click on that hyperlink, the video isn't available anymore. Oops. Guess you should have attached a thumb drive with all your proof because you don't have it anymore. It's not there. And you know why maybe it's not there? Because there's somebody out there on the cesspool of Twitter who has organized a campaign to start reporting not only Aiden Carney's channel, but others to try and get them taken down and try and get their content taken down. So guess what, jackasses? You think you're helping the HOS defendants with your nonsense, and now you might have just destroyed some of their alleged evidence, because their evidence here is the link, and the link doesn't exist anymore. So good on you if you thought you were helping the HOS defendants or HOS plaintiffs or whatever they call themselves now. Depending on the case, I call them different things. Because now it's gone. Now I got to find the receipt on that because I like receipts too. Hang on one second. So many of you sent the screenshot to me that I have to just look for it right now. People were like, you're on this list. You're on this list. Okay, here it is. Take this down. Put this up. Here it is. This is the Twitter account of Meredith O'Neill, who used to be the girlfriend of Aiden Carney. And here's what she tweeted just a few days ago. Yep, we'll play this game. Everyone go give a report to Turtle Boy Live, The Glare, Ray from Dallas, Jessica Machado, Broken Baker, Radhouse Media, Sparkly Rabbit, Common Sense Investigator, Something's Off Podcast, Ocean Moons Lives, Melanie Little. We got questions. Who else am I missing? Asking her minions for help on who else what other channels on YouTube they should report. Okay, this is an orchestrated campaign to try and interrupt people's businesses. She doesn't want anybody talking about her. I've never talked about her. I think I talked about her once on this channel because we watched the trial that Aiden Carney was involved in. She testified for him in that trial, and then some other weirdness happened. Maybe I've mentioned her twice on this channel. And YouTube has been notified that this is what they're doing. But this is what they're doing. And that could be the reason why these exhibits have disappeared. Could be. Ask yourselves that. You know, you people who think you're trying to help, you're not helping. And here's another one. Because some people just can't help themselves. Call to help. There are several Turtle Boy, some I guess nicknames, some derogatory nickname that she's got for Turtle Boy. YouTube videos about me that I want taken down. We already know he won't remove them voluntarily. I've hired an expert, who has developed specific reporting strategies and keywords to target this content effectively. If you're willing to help with a coordinated mass reporting effort to get all the videos removed and potentially the entire channel, comment below and I'll reach out with instructions. Oh, she's sending people instructions on how to do this. Okay, great. Really smart idea. Who's advising you? We were successful with Purple, I think it was Purple Kool-Aid Drinker. Well, Purple Kool-Aid Drinker's channel. Purple, she says something else. Purple Kool-Aid Drinker channel. So I have high hopes for this project too. This is her project. This is her pet project. This is what she's doing in her spare time. We're also moving on to other channels after this. The F around phase is over. We're now in the find out phase. Oh, well, look what you did, ma'am. You and your minions have now perhaps destroyed some of the evidence that the Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert team was relying on. She's even going to send out directions to people. Well done to you. Well done to you. Is Jennifer McCabe happy about this campaign of yours? I don't know. But I'd love to know. And you're going to see that because we're going to click on a couple of other new thumbnails, and they're also going to be, a couple of new other footnotes, and they are also going to be gone. They're gone. All of this is the same as we go through up to page 11, page 12. I thought this was interesting too. I just underlined this because I guess we didn't emphasize it enough last time. This paragraph, the conspiracy continues. Reed and Carney continued communicating before, during, and after her trials to coordinate their defamation of the plaintiffs. Reed and Carney agreed to act in concert and use their defamation of the plaintiffs to subvert the Commonwealth's prosecution, to attract an audience, and to monetize that audience and their celebrity. How has Karen Reed monetized anything? Do you think Karen Reed wants any of this celebrity? The Today Show interview that she did the other day, which I thought was a mess, she probably wasn't paid for, and is another good example of why people like Karen Reed maybe shouldn't talk to mainstream media, because they're not on your side and they don't care about the truth. They care about ratings. But so what's celebrity exactly? Has she monetized? To my knowledge, she hasn't been paid for anything. I don't know if she was paid for the Rotten Mango appearance that she did. So that's ridiculous. Moving on as we get to page 14. And now we're at page 15. So let's get to page 15 on the other side here. And this is where the numbering gets a little bit wonky because there's a lot of new things that have been added. So this fits in right after previous paragraph 50, and then previous paragraph 51 said on May 24th of 2023, but now they've added a new paragraph because apparently they've had some people maybe doing some more research and they've come across some new old videos or old allegations that they want to add in. So this now says on May 7th of 2023, Carney, who had already repeatedly defamed and harassed the plaintiffs, acknowledged the incoherence of Reed's twin narratives that O'Keefe was purportedly killed shortly after entering the house, and that a Google search was performed at 2:27 a.m., suggesting he was still alive. He noted the Google search allegation made no sense if Reed's theory was that Officer O'Keefe was already dead. Instead, Carney called it a frame job and told Reed's intermediary, I hope Reed realizes that the Google search completely invalidates the defense, and it's starting to make me worry about what I've now tied myself to. And they put that in bold font. Carney failed to conduct any diligent inquiry, abandoned fundamental journalistic standards, disregarded the obvious flaws and inconsistencies. I think I've been out in the sun too long. My brain is fried. In Reed's theories, and continued to act at Reed's discretion in disseminating those allegations to the public. Well, again, I don't think pointing this out helps them. Pointing this out indicates to me that Aidan Carney was questioning the investigation, questioning what happened here. They're trying to show that he was somehow, paid by, solicited by, bribed by Karen Reed to do all this stuff, when it just shows what it says to me is that he's actually investigating these theories and he's working through it. And at this point, on May 7th of 2023, apparently he still hadn't made up his mind yet. Right? So stupid. He was looking into it. Kelly said, yes, they're so dumb. Aidan has explained what that text was. Right. First, he's not a journalist, Caroline says. Now he is, but he's failed at one. Give me an effing break. Don't poke the turtle. He was looking into it. Says Donna. I don't think this helps their case. Okay, then this on May 24th, 2023 paragraph is still in both complaints. And then after the May 24th, paragraph 51 in the first complaint, they've added, which is now paragraph 57 in the new complaint, reads as follows. On May 25th of 2023, following a hearing in Norfolk County Superior Court, Reed and her legal team appeared on the courthouse steps and spoke with members of the media. Footnote 20, which we're going to look at. In that press conference, in response to a reporter asking who he thinks was involved in the death of O'Keefe, Jackson stated that there are people who are in that house that are involved. Brian Albert is involved. Jennifer McCabe is involved. The rest of the folks that were in that house, there's some level of involvement by every one of them, every single one of them. Well, Alan Jackson is not a defendant here. But since you're going to attach it, let's watch footnote 20. And that is a Vinnie Politan show. Here's footnote 20. Court TV, Boston cop, killed suspect, Karen Reed speaks out. Okay? Here it is. Vinnie Politan made it also.
Good Wednesday evening to you, and welcome back to Closing Arguments. I'm Julie Grant. I'm sitting in tonight and tomorrow night for my friend Vinnie Politan, who is on assignment for his brand new Court TV series, Accomplice to Murder. Be sure to check it out Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we have a great hour planned for you. We start this hour with a fascinating case happening in Boston. It involves the murder of a Boston police officer, and the officer's girlfriend, Karen Reed, is the accused.
Can you guys hear this? Okay. No, it's very low. Let me boost it a little bit. Julie Grant got fired from Court TV, sadly. And she was very, very anti-Karen Reed. But in the beginning, she wasn't. Okay. So I just want to see when this was published. May 25th of 2023. All right. It's going to need a boost. Tell me if this is better.
But she says she's being framed.
Not really. I need to boost it more. Hang on one second. Oh, please.
In January of last year, Boston police officer John O'Keefe's body was found bruised and frozen on the lawn of his fellow Boston cop, Brian Albert. Now, prosecutors say it was Reed who killed him by backing into him with her SUV and then leaving him to die in the snow. And police explained the damage to her taillight and said it was consistent with markings on his body and that O'Keefe had never even entered the home where a big police house party was going on. But the defense team says, oh no, it's all a cover-up. They say that while Reed and O'Keefe did get into a fight that night, that she dropped him off at the house party. And the defense team believes that there was a fight inside that home, some kind of altercation in which John O'Keefe got hurt and was left for dead out in the snow. Now, on April 26, Karen Reed's lawyers announced some bombshell evidence. In a press release, they stated, quote, "We've discovered that Jennifer McCabe, homeowner Brian Albert's sister-in-law, was searching on her phone how long to die in cold on January 29th, 2022 at 2:27 a.m. The prosecution has maintained that John O'Keefe's body was not discovered in Brian Albert's yard until about 6 a.m., some 3.5 hours later. As we stress in the motion, there is simply no innocent explanation for McCabe's search at that time. The evidence unequivocally exonerates Karen Reed because it establishes that individuals who were in the house at 34 Fairview that night were aware that John was dying in the snow before Karen even knew that he was missing. Now, in addition to that very incriminating...
This is so weird to watch Julie Grant before she totally went on the anti-Karen Reed side.
Karen even knew that he was missing. Now, in addition to that very incriminatory Google search, Reed's attorneys also discovered...
Listen to Julie Grant. In addition to that very incriminatory Google search, she's calling Jennifer McCabe's Google search incriminatory. What? This is wild. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, HOS plaintiffs, for linking this video to your footnotes of your amended complaint, because now everyone can see that Julie Grant was the one who was brainwashed by befriending Kate Peter and others like you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Let's keep listening because it's only 15 minutes.
That they apparently deleted 18 calls from that night, as well as 7 phone calls between Albert and...
Oh, wait a second. Tell us more, Julie Grant. Hold on a second. Let's go back. And what did she say? This was... There was some very incriminating evidence. When was it first released by the defense team? April 26, April 26th of 2023. That's when that Google search was made public. Listen, right around the time that Aidan Carney started reporting about this case.
We've discovered that Jennifer McCabe, homeowner Brian Albert's sister, on April 26, Karen O'Keefe got hurt and was left for dead out in the snow. Now, on April 26, Karen Reed's lawyers announced some bombshell evidence in a
So the 227 search was not even announced until April 26, 2023.
press release. They stated, quote, "We've discovered that Jennifer McCabe, homeowner Brian Albert's sister-in-law, was searching on her phone how long to die in cold on January 29th, 2022 at 2:27 a.m. The prosecution has maintained that John O'Keefe's body was not discovered in Brian Albert's yard until about 6 a.m., some 3.5 hours later. As we stress in the motion, there is simply no innocent explanation for McCabe's search at that time. The evidence unequivocally exonerates Karen Reed because it establishes that individuals who were in the house at 34 Fairview that night were aware that John was dying in the snow before Karen even knew that he was missing. Now, in addition to that very incriminatory Google search, Reed's attorneys also discovered that they apparently deleted 18 calls from that night, as well as 7 phone calls between Albert and McCabe. The defense attorneys concluding in the press release saying that they were looking forward to presenting this exculpatory evidence at a pretrial hearing on May 3rd. May 3rd came and went. And while the defense did present some compelling evidence for the court, these new details were shockingly never mentioned.
Second. Oh, this is all pre-beard Alan Jackson. Zoe says, see, the HOS complainers thinks this proves that Turtle Boy was planning stories in the mainstream news that defamed them. But they did delete calls and they did make Google searches, right? And Court TV was all over this too. You can't blame Aidan Carney for all your problems. Julie Grant just called it a very incriminatory Google search. Ma'am? Miss McCabe? Huh.
Disputed fact. When John O'Keefe was found, he had this set of wounds on his right arm. And the Commonwealth...
All right, stop. Oh, wait. Boop, boop. Oh, man, YouTube hates that picture. Every time all right, I have to fast forward through this picture because YouTube hates it. I don't want to have to go back and blur the stream out. You know what the picture looks like. It was a picture of John's right arm. And here was the big chalk that Liza Little held up in court.
The Alberts had a dog. By May of 2022, Karen Reed's defense team starts asking questions about this animal. That same month, amazing, the Alberts informed the Cat Animal Control that the dog was remarkably and mysteriously rehomed. The dog was gotten rid of.
Stop. Hold on. You can see Aidan Carney sitting right behind Alan Jackson in the courtroom. Look. See him right there? Boy, to go all the way back to 2023 is wild. Oh, and here's King David. Hold on.
I have not only the candle lights, in the video that the prosecution turned over to us, there is a gap in that video from 12:37 a.m. to 12:39 a.m., which would have been the precise time my client would have been driving back past the library. We know that footage showed that my client's taillight was still intact at that point because she never struck John O'Keefe with her vehicle. Yet the prosecution has produced a video from the library with that crucial time period missing.
But if John O'Keefe was beaten unconscious in, for instance, the basement of that house, and later moved to the front yard after the guests left, there's your answer.
I mean, thank you for attaching this footnote also, HOS plaintiffs, because so many people have never seen this before. And even if Aidan Carney was merely reporting on what he heard in the courtroom, because as you can see, he's sitting right there. It can't be defamatory when it is something that is a public record that is being reported on court. He's reporting in court. Oh, and look who's to the right there, Queen Tanis Yannetti. Oh, I love Tanis so much. And I love Mrs. Yannetti too. And I heard they also our cupcakes. So, like, well, Thomas and I are friends now, but this is wild. Even if he's just reporting what he's hearing in court, he's just reporting what he's hearing in court. This is not defamatory. These are public court filings.
Time period missing. But if John O'Keefe was beaten unconscious in, for instance, the basement of that house,
Right.
and later moved to the front yard after the guests left, there's your answer as to why no one saw him. Why would Brian Albert?
They can't sue Alan Jackson. So in their quest to make money and also make him stop blogging about us, Aiden Carney becomes the obvious target here, right? Because putting him in jail for 60 days only kept him quiet for 60 days while he was in jail. And it should be pointed out, too, that another person who has flipped their lid, flipped their wig, and flipped sides, Brian LTL, was covering Turtle Boy's channel. Wasn't he actually streaming for Turtle Boy while Turtle Boy was in jail? This whole Michigas is just mind-blowing to me. But look at the cars in the driveway. Look at all those cars in the driveway. They could fit 3 across. Interesting. There's 34 Fairview before it was bought and painted a different color.
Rip out the floor of his basement months after John O'Keefe was killed. The second question, why
Cheesy
sell his
music.
house? So in the months following John O'Keefe's death, the dog has been gotten rid of. Got rid of the evidence in the basement. Got rid of the house, the crime scene itself. Your Honor, I would submit to the court that evidence is literally being destroyed right under our nose.
Oh, Alan Jackson said evidence is being destroyed right under our nose? Huh, we do have a lot of inside jokes, Mo, don't we? I love it.
Prior to today, the defense had issued some subpoenas requesting that Brian Albert and his sister-in-law Jennifer McCabe appear in court so they could question them at a hearing that was scheduled for tomorrow.
Brian Albert, listen to the way she talks about them. This is before they became friends.
They were saying that they wanted to dig into the exonerating phone evidence, and the defense also planning to bring in a data extraction expert as well. In the hearing that happened today, Judge Beverly Canone quashed those 2 subpoenas and canceled tomorrow's hearing.
Which was insane. This is before Julie Grant knew how to pronounce Canone also. They were supposed to come in and testify, Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert, and unbeknownst, everybody's ready to do that hearing. And on the day that was not the hearing, the judges canceled it outright.
The defense team clearly frustrated. Let's take a listen to some of what happened in the courtroom and some of the press conference afterward.
Brian Albert is integral.
If you haven't seen this before, come and pay attention to this. Because, oh, there's Queen Tanis, Bill and Janet Reed, Nathan Reed in the gallery. You might not have seen this hearing. It's a very old hearing from May of 2023.
With the press conference afterward.
Brian Albert is integrally involved in the death of John O'Keefe. He is implicated in the death of John O'Keefe. Jennifer McCabe is equally implicated in the death of John O'Keefe and the subsequent cover-up of that death. We're entitled to defend our client. It couldn't be more specific, our request. It couldn't be more narrowly tailored. And we couldn't need it more. It couldn't be more necessary for Karen Reed to defend herself. She's entitled to this information. She's constitutionally entitled to defend herself, and she's constitutionally entitled to this information. We can't just walk into court, Your Honor, at a trial and start spewing things that we think might be true. We know them to be true. We have to have evidence to back those statements up. We need to prove it. We have the ability to prove these facts. And that's why we're asking for these products, these things, and these records.
Okay. Do you like Alan Jackson better with the beard or without the beard? So they were trying to get Jennifer McCabe's phone data and Brian Albert's phone data. The judge called off the hearing, quashed the subpoenas, but guess what? In the civil case, they're going to be able to get them. Again, falls under the category of you better want what you wish for. And look at Nicole, like Nicole Ray, like Do Re Mi says, this moment on Court TV is the reason I found Miss Melanie. I had enough. Best thing that ever happened. Thank you. Gigi said, FYI, Old Mare is here right now. What's her fake name? You like without the beard? I think I do too. I gotta say, I'm not a facial hair kind of girl. I'm not really a fan of facial hair in general. Sherry Thompson wants to know, can the judge intervene and charge Meredith and her cohorts with obstruction of justice and order them off computers? I don't know. I don't know what kind of things could happen. That's a great question. Thanks for being here for 7 months. I'm not going to help anybody do anything, if you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I talk too much and I feel like I'm helping, like the other side, like give them ideas, and I don't want to give anybody ideas. I don't want to give anybody ideas. Georgia Catmon pointing out that Turtle Boy first got his first receipts from a cop that worked with John O'Keefe. That is correct. Let's keep listening, because this is the only part that the HOS plaintiffs wanted us to see and the judge to look at. But since they've attached the whole entire video and haven't timestamped anything, we're watching the whole entire video.
Because she should be. Okay. It's frustrating because she should be exonerated. What the Commonwealth should do is walk into the courtroom and say, you know what, we got it wrong. Mea culpa, we got it wrong. And we're going to go out and find the actual people who did this. That's what they should be doing. That's my frustration.
So is this a cover-up, and if so, who's leading the cover-up?
Your guess is as good as mine. That's what we're trying to figure out. That's exactly what we're trying to figure out.
Who do you think did it?
Well, certainly the Massachusetts State Police is involved. There are people that were in that house that are involved. Brian Albert is involved. Jennifer McCabe is involved. The rest of the folks that were in that house, there's some level of involvement by every one of them, every single one. And until we're not going to rest until we get to the bottom of exactly who's behind this cover-up, because not only Karen Reed deserves this. John O'Keefe deserves this.
So if all of this was public information and Aidan Carney is just reporting on public information, how does that mean that he's in cahoots with Karen Reed? Thanks for attaching this, because it really doesn't help your case at all. In fact, I would say just the opposite.
Said it feels we're the only ones fighting for the truth of what happened to John O'Keefe. And me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource to get to the truth. Just feels like no one else wants it.
Karen, just to be clear, you didn't do it.
We know who did it, Steve. We know. And we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know.
Yes, we do. And no, she didn't do it. No, she didn't do it. This is an innocent woman. She didn't do it.
I tried to save his life.
Yeah.
I tried to save his life at 6 a.m. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life.
Oh, they are fired up. And guess who else is fired up? Our think tank. The prosecution's case just might get destroyed tonight. What a power panel I have with me on the couch. Let me bring them all in. Big welcome sitting next to me. Criminal defense investigator.
Wow. This is when she thought that the prosecution's case might just get destroyed tonight. Print that. That's insane. Remember, we were talking about Steve the other night. It's Steve Cooper, right? She's saying, wait, she just said the prosecution's case might get destroyed tonight. That's what she just said, you guys. This is before Julie Grant flipped sides. Hang on. Listen, I know you're hearing what you think you're hearing, because that's the way Julie Grant turned out to be in the end. But this is before the flip. Listen.
Case just might get. Guess who else is fired up? Our think tank. The prosecution's case just might get destroyed tonight. What a power panel I have with me on the couch. Let me bring them all in. Big welcome sitting next to me. Criminal defense investigator Charles Middlestad is here. Next to him, criminal defense attorney, Emory University law professor, and Georgia Innocence Project board member Molly Palmer. And next to her, criminal defense attorney Josh Schiffer. Welcome to you all. Oh boy, let's get talking. Okay.
It's crazy.
Can we start with what a blow this was today?
I wonder if she switched sides, right? For more engagement, more followers, more money and fame, right? A couch. Great point, Mary Cruz.
The quashing of the subpoenas. Boy, does that stink. Almost as bad as the facts of this case stink. Josh Schiffer.
This is wild. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for footnote number 20 of your amended complaint, because this is before Julie Grant drank the anti-Turtle Boy green Kool-Aid. Wow. And the anti-Karen Reed pink Kool-Aid. Pink lemonade, maybe. Listen to this.
Boy, does that stink. Almost as bad as the facts of this case stink. Josh Schiffer.
We talk all the time about how trials in criminal justice is so often a quest to hide something. And it's an exercise in what are we going to let a jury actually see? That was today. The defense stood up and said, hey, we know there's this evidence out there. It's cell phone evidence from the other people at the party. It's integral to our client's defense. If you guys really want the truth, you got to let us inspect this data.
Right.
And the judge turned around and shut them down. I am flabbergasted. I would be as uproariously angry as counsel was. I'm shocked that the truth is being stymied here by the state in what really looks like a cover-up now.
Right.
Wow. This is before trial number 1. Remember, this is all the way back in May of 2023. Did they think that if they flip sides, because I don't remember where Josh Schiffer, that's the guy who's talking with the glasses, with the red glasses, I don't know where he wound up in the end of this, or either two of those other commentators, but boy, did Julie Grant flip over. And they all think this is a cover-up as they're sitting there all the way back in May of 2023. Remember, Karen Reed's first trial, first persecution would not begin until about 1 year later in 2024, and then her second trial in 2025.
Molly, tell me, does it look like the defense is going to have to kind of take the long way home, so to speak? You know, they wanted to get these two in for this hearing at this very early stage of the proceedings. But if it's not going to happen, do you think they're going to have to wait till trial for it to happen?
Well, you know, of course, the defense doesn't have the same powers as does the state. A defense attorney has to have a hearing to even issue a subpoena and ask for records. So without another hearing, I mean, I know there is one coming up soon, but if you've just had them quashed by the judge, the opportunities for the defense are far more limited. And so what I think is really interesting here is the media strategy. I mean, that's what the defense is trying to do. I think the press conference was incredibly effective. I think Karen Reed is innocent. And I think they believe.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What? Oh, she thinks Karen Reed is innocent. Let's hear that again. Thank you so much for attaching this. I can't thank you enough.
Here is the media strategy. I mean, that's what the defense is trying to do. I think the press conference was incredibly effective. I think Karen Reed is innocent. And I think they believe this with all of their hearts. And
look, come to your screen for a second. Because when she says, I think Karen Reed is innocent, Julie Grant is nodding along like, me too, girl, me too. This is wild. I'm so glad I didn't have to dig for this clip because I knew it was out there somewhere and that they attached it for me. Look at Julie Grant. Oh, yeah, she's innocent. What changed? What changed?
Strategy. I mean, that's what the defense is trying to do. I think the press conference was incredibly effective. I think Karen Reed is innocent. And I think they believe this with all of their hearts. And what they can do at this point is stand on the courthouse steps and share what they know with the public if inside the courtroom that's not going to be allowed.
That's right, Molly. Yeah, I'm with you. I know a lot of our courties think so too. They think
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think she's innocent too. Did Julie Grant get proctored? Someone said. Wow. Who got to them? Says Amy Adams. Lady Wag says they always proved Turtle Boy was right. They added this for Alan Jackson's words on the courthouse steps. They added this for that purpose. Alan Jackson is not a defendant here. The only defendants here are Turtle Boy and Karen Reed. This is a great freeze frame of Julie Grant. So let me just take the captions down in case anybody wants to screenshot that for later. She's like, yeah, and a lot of our courties.
That's right, Molly. Yeah, I'm with you. I know a lot of our courties think so too. They think that this is an innocent woman who's being framed and just outnumbered. Every time at Charles Middlestead she goes to court, the courtroom is packed with a sea of police. You know, and I'm very pro-police. I love our police. I'm so grateful for them. But I think every good cop I know would agree with the next statement I'm about to make. There's nothing worse than a dirty cop. You know, I'll take a criminal all day long before a dirty cop, right?
Sure. How do you feel about Michael Proctor now, Julie? A courtie, I don't know. Is that what they call their viewers, the court TV viewers? It's kind of gagged me with a spoon.
They're held to a higher standard. And if that's what's going on here, I mean, how is this going to come down, Charles, like a house of cards? If this defense team is right,
with the picture,
and that maybe those bite marks we're looking at right there might have been from a dog.
She says, maybe those bite marks that we're looking at on his arm, I'm just taking the picture down for a minute, but you can still hear it, right? Listen, maybe the bite marks that we're looking at on his arm. You hear it?
You're right. I mean, what might happen there to this department?
Well, sadly, Julie, we're not talking potentially about a dirty cop. We may be talking about several dirty cops, because if this is what the defense suspects it is and what they're alleging it is, then there's a conspiracy here. And
wow, guess what? 3 years later, we're still here. We're still yelling about this. And you were right. Maybe Turtle Boy was right. Conspiracy.
the evidence that they articulated a good faith basis for getting access to is the type of evidence that can be very, very compelling, because it's digital evidence and it's going to force certain individuals to answer very, very hard questions, because that evidence is going to be irrefutable in terms of phone calls that were made, phone calls that were placed, received, different research that was done, Google searches, things of that nature, that there is no way to explain away. And they need the ability to, they need access to that discovery, to that evidence, in order to put the pressure and identify. As an investigator, this is exactly the kind of evidence that I rely on to determine, like, who are the first 5 people they spoke to, develop their identities, interview those folks. What did you talk about? Right. What was the conversation like? What was that person's demeanor? What was going on?
Right.
And you build a timeline. And that timeline is ultimately what you can't push back on, because it is irrefutable. You have to explain these details.
Sure, appreciate it. Josh Schiffer, let me go to you on this one, please. I keep thinking about these prosecutors and what do they know? Because that's a tough position to be in, right? Because sometimes stuff goes on and you have no idea. The case gets in your lap and you're trusting that someone else did an honest investigation. You're trusting that they vetted every story and left no stone unturned, and you're just trying to be a minister of justice. But here, I mean, I'm just like, do they not see what might be happening?
And like good cops, good prosecutors get angry when they see that kind of corruption. Or even, there's a phrase I love, the mere appearance of impropriety. Whenever you see something that just doesn't pass the smell test, and that's what we've got here. And good prosecutors get angry. They get motivated, because they're out there. The best prosecutors out there are fixing and healing America one case at a time. And they want nothing more than to instill integrity back into a police department that, unfortunately, it has a history. This is not the first time Boston police have been wrapped up in some stuff that didn't pass the smell test. And I'm telling you, from the outside looking in, I can see how this case unfolds, how the scapegoat, Miss Reed, gets picked, and how this case proceeds to right now. I wish nothing but the best for her defense team. They've got a hard fight.
Definitely. And let's talk more about that. Molly, let me ask you, please, if you were on this defense team, what, if anything else, might you do to try to defend Karen Reed? And also, like you touched on, what they're doing there on the courthouse steps today in speaking out. What are the things you would do in court and out of court to help her?
I think that what they are doing, this aggressive defense approach, is what they have to do at this point. But I think we also have to remember that attorneys, we're counselors. That word, I take that literally. And you're standing beside a woman who lost the love of her life, who is being falsely accused and who is going through this process, probably as shocked and appalled as the rest of us, that this is how it's unfolding. So I think there's a lot of emotional work that they're having to do with her and her family and all of her supporters that are there alongside those police that we see inside all of these hearings as well. There's a lot of work beyond just litigating the case.
You're right.
You're helping the people who are accused.
You're right. She went through a trauma. That's one thing to remember too. You know, she might be a defendant, but she was traumatized without question, trying to.
Wow. Julie Grant was a Karen Reed sympathizer. You are watching this for the first time. If you're watching this for the first time, if you've never seen this Court TV clip from May of 2023, put a 1 in the chat if you've never seen this. This is gold, Jerry, gold. This is Jersey to Georgia, because you know that Seinfeld references are always welcome here. If you have never seen this before, put a 1 in the chat. I remember seeing this, and that's why I was so blown away when Julie Grant flipped. Look at that. Look at how many of you have never seen this clip. Thank you again. The Afro Man effect is in full effect now. Thank you again, HOS defendants, for showing that mainstream, if you want to call Court TV mainstream media, that even Julie Grant said that Karen Reed had been through a huge trauma and that she was framed and that there's tons of evidence for a cover-up. And are you going to add these people to your lawsuit too? Because this is right after Aidan Carney started reporting. I don't know. Now you say he's up to 550 parts of his Canton cover-up story. How many parts had he done when this interview aired or when this piece aired on Court TV? How many? Under 10? People feel a certain way about you, not just because of Turtle Boy, because they watched for themselves and because of pieces like this on Court TV, which a lot of people trusted at the time. Oh, please. Wow, look how many ones are in the chat. Wild. Twilight Zone. We have Twilight Zone emojis, but if you're on your phone, you can't use them, members. Can't use any of them because YouTube has a worldwide problem with iPhone emojis.
To save his life, trying to do CPR at the end of all of that. We're going to keep a close.
Wait, what now? Hold on. Karen Reed was trying to save his life. Julie Grant, is that what you say?
Number two, you know, she might be
people who are accused.
You're right. She went through a trauma. That's one thing to remember too. You know, she might be a defendant, but she was traumatized without question, trying to save his life, trying to do CPR at the end of all of that. We're going to keep a close eye. The hearing tomorrow has been canceled, so we'll keep you posted on the next court date.
Wow. Just wow. That was footnote 20. And let's go back for one moment to see why they attached that footnote 20, because so many of you are like, why did they attach this again? I'm going to show you. Footnote 20, for the purpose of paragraph 57 in the new complaint. On May 25th, 2023, following a hearing in Norfolk County Superior Court, Reed and her legal team appeared on the courthouse steps and spoke with members of the media. Footnote 20. That's why they attached it. In fact, in that press conference, in response to a reporter asking who he thinks was involved in the death of O'Keefe, Jackson stated that, quote, there are people who were in that house that are involved. Brian Albert is involved. Jennifer McCabe is involved. The rest of the folks that were in that house, there's some level of involvement by every one of them, every single one of them. Well, I think we might all be able to agree, except for the hate watchers, that the clip that we just watched indicated that Julie Grant and her 3 people in her think tank down there in Atlanta at the Court TV studios all believed that it was a cover-up all the way back on May 25th of 2023, and that Karen Reed was indeed framed, and that there was a conspiracy and some really, really bad cops involved. We just watched it. The only thing you did by inserting this brand new complaint in your amended complaint is drive so many more people to that Court TV clip to show that it was already out there. It wasn't Turtle Boy perpetuating this stuff. Congratulations. Well done. There was no reason to add this paragraph because Alan Jackson is not a defendant. And so what he said on the courthouse steps doesn't matter. It doesn't help your case. You just may have tanked your case. Show that to the jury. The next paragraph, it was in the original complaint, and that went on to after May 30th of 2023 when Carney published part 43 of his Canton cover-up. Okay, so let's see. I guess it was up to maybe 42 parts by then. May 24th, he published part 39. May 25th was the hearing that we just watched a portion of. And if you want to watch all of the original footnotes, go back to my 4-part series of this complaint. It took us 20 hours to get through because we watched almost every single footnote in its entirety. And so paragraph 58, which was in the original complaint, goes on to say that 5 days later, Carney was calling Jennifer McCabe a horse face and reposting a video that he previously took confronting Jen McCabe and calling her a cop killer. Well, mainstream media was thinking the same thing. Are you going to sue them too? Huh. So there's that Court TV piece. If you want, I'll link it in the show notes below this video so that you can watch it for yourself and go over. You know what? Let me do it right now. Let me do it right now so that if you want to, you can go over there and comment on it. Because, we got to save these things in case they all of a sudden magically disappear. Hold, please. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I will just call it footnote 20. You may need to refresh your browser to see that in the show notes if you've been on this stream the whole entire time. And if I don't do it now, I'll forget. So there it is for you. Go on with your bad selves. There's footnote 20, the Court TV video that we just watched. And I mean,
you're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you, Afro Man. Moving on, we finally get to some more new information. How much fun did we have going through the original complaint together for 20 hours? You watched it. Let others who might not have watched it know how fun it was. All right, let's see where we get to here. New 66. Oh, here's something that I just wanted to highlight. It's not exactly new. So this paragraph, News 66 says, by early September 2023, Reed's team was concerned that the police were potentially going to charge Carney with witness harassment. Reed's counsel, Yannetti, expressed concern to Carney that if that happens, then a judge prohibits you from having contact with witnesses. This prospect concerned Reed, Yannetti, and Jackson since they feared silencing Carney would impact the defendant's campaign against the plaintiffs. Well, apparently everyone else was in on the campaign to defame you also, including Julie Grant at that time. Josh Schiffer and those two other commentators whose names I've already forgotten. Indeed, on September 9th, 2023, Yannetti messaged Carney regarding, among others, the plaintiffs, stating, quote, these bastards deserve all the scorn we are giving them, end quote. With Carney's silence, the scorn Reed intended to incite might diminish. Do you remember? Do you remember when King David Yannetti was on the Turtle Boy fundraiser with me? We were both on at the same time. And do you remember what Yannetti said? How pissed he was about this? And then Aiden showed the text messages in succession. And that is not, David Yannetti was not referring to the HOS plaintiffs. He was referring to the investigators, the MSP. And he was pissed. And he said, I hope if they amend their complaint, they'll correct it. Guess what they didn't do? Correct it. Oh, there's one little piece that's different. Look when we put them side by side. New 66 is old 60. Old one reads, on September 9th, 2023, Yannetti messaged Carney regarding the plaintiffs, stating these bastards deserve all the scorn we're giving them. And here they added regarding, among others, the plaintiffs. Oh, you didn't fully correct it. You didn't delete it. Now it just says regarding, among others, the plaintiffs. Wow. Okay. All right. Moving on. Here's a new paragraph 71, which comes after old paragraph 64. Are you following what I'm doing here, or is it too confusing? Tried to make it as simplify it as much as I could, but new paragraph 71. On September 14th, 2023, Carney hosted a Turtle Boy live show, footnote 27. So this was not in the original complaint, even though it was a September of 2023 show. So I don't know if they've got people pulling more stuff for them, or if they're doing it themselves, if they've got interns doing this, like trying to find more evidence, because the old complaint just started with on September 19th. So this goes back in time 5 days, and it says on September 14th, 2023, Carney hosted a Turtle Boy live show. In his show, Carney stated, I would recommend, if you don't feel uncomfortable, talk to Chris Albert about it. Talk to Chris Albert. All he has to do is come clean and get this son to admit what he did and get his brother to admit what he did. And then this thing's over, and there's no more going to kids' games and interviewing you and going to your goddamn pizza shop. It's all effing ends. Okay, here is the footnote from September 14th of 2023. See if that one still exists. Okay, I'm going to pull it up on my other screen. We can do it this way. Oh, we can't do it that way because it just disappeared. Hang on. I'll get it. I'll put it full screen for you. Isn't this fun? We have so much fun here. This is called, oh, I'll pull it up and then we'll see what it's called. Calling Norfolk Superior Court. And this was published on Turtle Boy Live 2 years ago, September 14th of 2023. It is 6 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm going to trigger warn you for language if it bothers you, because I don't know. I haven't watched this yet or ever. Here you go.
Emergency impromptu live here. We're just going to call Norfolk Superior Courthouse, give people a chance to stream in here. I was just on Howie Carr, or new Howie Carr, Chick Howie Carr was on the Grace Curley show talking about this. Check out WRKO. They streamed it on their Facebook page. I believe it was, I don't know if it's WRKO's Facebook page or the Grace Kelly Facebook.
You know what's wild? Bookmark this. This video right now has 8,514 views. Come back and check on it tomorrow and see how many views it has then. Let's give it a like.
Page of the Howie Carr Facebook page or whatever it was, but I was on there. Pretty good interview. I'm sure they'll have it up on podcast form later. But this is going to be a quick live. So look at, you may have seen some, I posted the pictures on Facebook. They have blockaded the front of the courthouse with these barriers, right? And they're fences. So I'm like, at first I was like, are they going to really do this to us? But it looks like they're just blocking the street, blocking people from going on the street. But I want to figure out what the hell's going on here. So we're going to call them together right now and see what they have to say, because, you know, I document everything. So live the tape.
For Christ's sakes. Hold on. Again, this is September 14th. Hold on, what just happened to it? Somehow it just disappeared. Hang on one second. September 14th, 2023. Hang on. Here we go. This is an emergency live. September 14th, 2023. All right, we're a little bit into it.
To 4:30 p.m.
Them together right now and see what they have to say, because I document everything. So live the tape.
Also, look at this time. He was not monetized on YouTube. He has no members.
Thank you for calling the Norfolk Superior Court,
Norfolk.
located at 650 High Street, Dedham, Mass, zip 02026. The business hours of this court are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, except for legal holidays. Please listen carefully, as our menu options and extension numbers have recently changed. If you know your party's 7-digit extension, you may dial it at any time. For the civil clerk, press 1, followed by the pound sign. For the criminal clerk, press 2, followed by the pound sign. If you are looking to reach the Superior Court Probation Department, press 3, followed by the pound sign. If you are looking to reach the Dedham District Court, press... Clerk's office.
Yeah, hi, we're live to tape. I just had a question. I saw the pictures outside of the barriers outside the courthouse. I'm planning on holding a protest there tomorrow, and just want to make sure that we're okay to do that.
Yeah, just the barriers are up so that people don't go into the street.
Okay, so we can still stand on the sidewalk and then the courthouse steps? Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye. All right, problem solved. We're good. Nobody has any.
He's asking for permission. He's asking for permission to protest at the courthouse. I'm like, sure, just don't block the way entirely.
Anything to worry about. People were all worried about that. So we're good. We cleared that up. It is, and that's, it's accountability, because if we didn't do that, they might try pulling some shiesty stuff. Now, look at, I was told the last time, Carrie Roberts and them, I didn't see Carrie come in, her dumpy ass. They came up on the left-hand side. There's like a wheelchair ramp, and they snuck in that way. So we need to have some people on there, reconnaissance. Again, we're not trying to bother, trying to like harass you or anything, but we are going to vocalize what we think of them, because they're trash, and we're going to let them know that, and they are supporting the lynching of an innocent woman, and we're not going to allow that. I'm also sick of hearing people whine about this football game post that I made. I made a post saying that, oh yeah, Canton High School is playing at Norwood High School in football today. So if you go there, wear your free Karen Reed shirt. What the hell's wrong with that post? What's wrong with wearing a free Karen Reed shirt? And they're like, oh, leave the kids alone. Leave the kids alone. Nobody's bringing kids into it. I just want to go to a football match. You know who's bringing the kids into it? The Alberts are bringing the kids into it by continuing to go to these events. Like, look at, I don't want to hear a fucking word about, they're hiding behind children. They're using children as shields. And if you fucking idiots keep saying, oh, what about the kids alone? Then you're fucking falling for it. Stop being a simple.
Remember, the only reason that they attached this footnote, new footnote number 27, was because of the stuff he said about Chris Albert. And he hasn't gotten to that yet.
Simple-minded fool. Stop it. You're being ridiculous. Okay? This ends. I would recommend, if you don't feel uncomfortable, talk to Chris Albert about it. Talk to Chris Albert.
This part.
All he has to do is come clean and get his son to admit what he did and get his brother to admit what he did, and then this thing's over. Then there's no more going to kids' games and interviewing and going to your goddamn pizza shop. It all fucking ends. So I'm sick of this. You're playing right into their hands if you do this whole like, oh, we can't leave kids out of it. We're not bringing kids into it. They're hiding behind children. They're hiding behind them, okay? Like back there in World War II, the fucking Japanese would hide in goddamn caves with kids. And you know what we did? Napalm the fuck out of it. Because, sorry, like you don't get, like, get out of my way. You stop hiding behind kids. It's not our fault. It's their fault. They're the ones that hid behind kids. Okay. And nobody is even fucking with kids here. We're there to just wear. What's wrong with a free Karen Reed shirt? What's wrong with a free Karen Reed shirt? You don't think everyone in Norwood knows about free Karen Reed, who she is and who these scumbags are? I'm sick of them thinking that they can walk around in public like everything's normal and fine. It's not. An innocent woman is being lynched, and we're not standing for it. And if you have a bigger problem with that, if you have a bigger problem with people going to a football game than you do with a state-sanctioned lynching and the murder of a Boston police officer, then your values are all fucked up, and I don't really care about your opinion. So that's that. We're going to be, we'll see what happens. I'm not saying I'm going there tonight. I didn't say it at all, but I'm saying if other people in the
Somebody said that Aiden wasn't even monetized during the first trial. Is that true?
area want to go, they're more than welcome to. Okay. It's a free country. Go to a goddamn football game if you want to. That's it. That's it. So, Karen Reed would like to be free too, but you can't. So the second Chris Albert does the right thing, this shit ends. It ends. Sick of these people hiding behind kids and shit like that. Enough.
They didn't include that part. As soon as Chris Albert does the right thing, they didn't include that part. We'll go back again to figure out why they attached this video as their footnote 27, but we're watching the whole thing because they attached it.
Enough, enough, enough. So I hope I see a lot of you there tomorrow. You heard the woman. We can protest all we freaking want, and we're going to, and we'll be there, and we're going to be loud. I'm going to be there at 7:30. I'll probably be there a little before that. The doors don't even open until 8:30, so they can't sneak by us or anything like that. So 7:30, baby. Who's ready? Hopefully you guys are ready to come. We're ready to get justice for Karen Reed, justice for John O'Keefe, and let these people know that we're watching them and we're coming for them, and we're never going to stop. You can tell us to stop, but we are never going to listen to you because you're not in charge. I'm the daddy now. You don't get to tell us what to do. We tell you what to do. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.
Right. Chris Albert isn't even being sued. He's not even being sued. Oh, after that stopped, after that ended, it suggested the video that my video that we're watching now. Imagine how much money he missed out on for both trials. He wasn't monetized for either trial, first or second trial. Oh, that's interesting. Don't you think? Huh. How much was Julie Grant making at Court TV, do you think? Was it anywhere near the $1 million or $1.5 million that they gave, a certain person as bonus money to sign up, and then she just gave the money back because, she didn't want to go work for Court TV to replace Julie Grant. Remember that whole story? Yacht today, Satan. Scott, are you here? No more nonsense. How about those Knicks, huh? All right. Let's keep going. He just recently got monetized. That's right. All right. Let's go back to the papers because it's probably going to take us more than one stream to get through this because they asked for it. They got it. You asked for it. You got it. Toyota. All right. Is that Toyota? You can't get super chats if you're not monetized, right? He had turtle chats. He's very smart for doing that because YouTube takes 30%. Many of you do not know that YouTube takes 30% of all super chats. And if you super chat from your iPhone, they take an additional VIG. I think it's 25% because of the app. They take an additional VIG or something. And so he was very smart, actually, in his business model, the way he did that. And that's how he made his money, by publishing on YouTube for free. All right. Here's why they attached that video. Because of this. On September 14th, 2023, Carney hosted a Turtle Boy live show, footnote 27, which we just watched. In his show, Carney stated, I would recommend, if you don't feel uncomfortable, talk to Chris Albert about it. Talk to Chris Albert. All he has to do is come clean and get this son to admit what he did and get his brother to admit what he did. And then this thing's over. And then there's no more games. There's no more going to kids' games and interviewing you and going to your goddamn pizza shop. It all effing ends. Well, again, Chris Albert is not a plaintiff in this lawsuit. So adding this, it was not important. And again, you're just giving more ammunition to the public. Because all he said at the end of that, which you did not include in your quote there, was Chris should just do the right thing. He was not trying to change anyone's testimony. That's what witness intimidation is, trying to change testimony. He was trying to get the witnesses to do the right thing and tell the truth. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Again, I highlighted this because while I think it was already in the first complaint, thrilled by the level of exposure and overall impact that Carney's publications were having on Reed's defamation campaign. It's a whole campaign. It's a defamation campaign. By the way, did you see what happened to Spencer Pratt in California? That deserves its whole own show. Wow. All of a sudden, Spencer Pratt is not in second place anymore. He's been unseated by Nithya Raman. What? Yes. Because all these votes all of a sudden started coming in. It's wild. He also said, if you feel comfortable. Right. If you feel comfortable. Yeah. We'll have to get into that in greater detail. People who didn't believe in voter fraud may now believe in voter fraud because that's wild. I mean, he was a tight second to Karen Bass. And now all of a sudden they're announcing, even though Nithya Raman has conceded her election, she's like, I lost. Now all of a sudden all these new votes are coming in. And now they have said that he is in third place. He's not going to run. It's going to be the mayor's race is going to be Karen Bass against Nithya Raman. Any LA friends in the chat? Tell me how you feel about it. Yeah, 43,000 votes came in and none of them were for him. Wow. All right, moving on, because don't get me going on that. And here he says, look what you've done to their reputations and to my jury pool. That's what Karen said. Chris Albert's business is the next casualty, just a matter of time. Well, I have a question. If Chris Albert was so damaged by all of the things that Aiden and Karen allegedly conspired to say that was defamatory, why isn't he a plaintiff in this lawsuit? Why isn't he a plaintiff in this lawsuit? I mean, if Aiden and Karen were doing all of these horrible things to him, he could even try to come into court and say, I couldn't even run again for Canton Select Board because they made my name mud. My name became mud because of what they did to me. And my pizza business suffered. I don't know. Why wouldn't he? He did kill a man. He killed Peter Berger back in the 90s, right, Carrie? He killed Peter Berger back in the 90s, a foreign exchange student in a hit and run car accident. He turned himself in 30 hours later, though, with his lawyer. His lawyer was a guy named Prescott, who is Judge Cannoni's brother. Yes, of course. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Oh, because Turtle Boy threatened Chris Albert threatened Turtle Boy on video, says Strange Credulity. Elise says, I don't think they want to answer questions about Colling being in the house, but they can still be deposed, though. See, it doesn't matter if they're parties or not. Cinnamon Reed says, Jeebus, why suggest voter fraud? That's crazy. I don't know. Go look it up. Go look up what just happened and then come back and we'll talk about it. I haven't read up fully on it. But the fact that 43,000 votes may have just come in and none of them were for him is wild. Is wild. I haven't looked into it fully yet, but that's my gut reaction to it. And that was about Spencer Pratt. Okay, moving on. Because of course there's more. There's always more. Okay, there's a whole green section here, which means new information. And this begins on new complaint, page 26. And it comes right after this paragraph, which says, Carney went on to say that McCabe is sick and sadistic and twisted, and that he has nothing but hatred to her as I should because I'm normal. I'm a rational person. Any rational person hates Jennifer McCabe and is disgusted by her because Jennifer McCabe is a pig. She's a pig. She's a cop-killing pig. Hang on one second. Okay. Hold on. That's crazy. I don't know. Aiden said he can't comment. Hold on. I can only do this from my phone. Just shoot me your link to your channel so that I can just click on it and undo it that way. Because that if that happened, that's wild. I just pulled up the tweet from Meredith about reporting all kinds of accounts and people's channels and stuff like that. The only way for me to do it is through my phone, and I have to have the link to your channel, which I don't have in front of me. And I'm in the middle of talking. All right. He proceeded to mock the Court TV host again, saying she supports a cop killing pig like Jennifer McCabe, who Googled how long to die in cold. Hold on one second. I have an idea. Oops. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I don't know how that happened. You should be good now, except for the waiting period. YouTube has like all of these issues also on mobile. That none of the emojis for members are working. None of that stuff is working. All right, here we go. During her first criminal trial in 2024, let me just find where this old paragraph was. It ends in who Googled how long to die in cold. Hold on. Here's the insert right here. Googled how long to die in cold. That's complaint number 1. And this is where this addition comes in right after old paragraph 83, new paragraph 91. During her first criminal trial in 2024, Reed had documentary filmmaker Terry Dunn Moorer record her preparation for trial, including interviews with Reed, her attorneys, her family, and recordings of conversations between and among Reed and her counsel. During these interviews, Reed personally and her counsel on her behalf defamed the plaintiffs. This is interesting. Is this cutting room floor footage? Is this cutting room floor footage? How did they get it? Number 1, why aren't they footnoting anything? Number 2, and if it was never broadcast, that's an essential element of defamation. Doesn't it have to be publicized? Or are they just going to say that Karen Reed and her counsel defamed them to Terry Moorer and it was recorded and therefore intended to be disseminated? Let's keep reading. Karen gave this team access to her like nobody's ever had before. And then at some point, this Terry Moorer person flipped on Karen and made it like into a hit piece, I think. Here we go. During these interviews, Reed personally and her counsel on her behalf defamed the plaintiffs. On April 12th of 2024, Jackson verified to Moorer and her production assistants the statements Reed gave to police when she was arrested in June of 2022, that Brian Albert, Colin Albert beat up John. My taillight was cracked when John was pulverized. Reed was present during Jackson's recorded statement and did not deny that she said those things. Where are the receipts on this? On or about April 30th of 2024, Reed gave a series of personal interviews to Ms. Moorer in connection with the documentary that Moorer was filming. During that interview, Reed falsely stated Jen McCabe got herself into a bad mess that night, and she helped clean it up. I don't think Jen laid a finger on John, but Jen knew John was dying, and she helped expedite it. So she's a first-degree murderer, and she knows she is. But it was probably accidental when he became severely injured, and they, referring to the other plaintiffs, just finished him off. During that same interview, Reed falsely stated, referring to, among others, the plaintiffs, quote, they're being federally investigated and they know it. They know they killed John, end quote. During that same interview, Reed was asked what she thought of Carney's tactics that had resulted in criminal charges against him for witness intimidation. Reed responded in part by referring to the plaintiffs and falsely stating, it's impossible for me to have any sympathy for any of these witnesses. They're murderers and they know it. And it goes on. All of this green stuff is new. I know it's hard to read, but I can't help it. On June 15th of 2024, Reed gave a recorded statement to Moorer and her team that Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, and Colin Albert had a motive to kill O'Keefe, but she was not sure of the circumstances in which they did kill him. She said, "What I think may have happened if the Higgins' motive," what Higgins is, it's, I don't know, the apostrophe is in the wrong place. I guess the "the" shouldn't be there. If Higgins' motive is the motive for what happened to John, or if it's combined Higgins and Colin Albert, who I think is the biggest hothead of the whole group, I think Higgins could have shared with Brian Albert what happened between Higgins and me, and Brian Albert used that as another reason not to like John O'Keefe. So Brian Albert had his friend Brian Higgins and his beloved nephew Colin Albert coming to him saying, "John O'Keefe is a pain in my ass. There's enough motive to go around. I know that Brian Albert did not care for John on his own. I know that Colin Albert has had issues that I witnessed with John. So it could have been as simple as everyone was drunk and John got mouthy with Colin and, caught an uppercut, and just it escalated from there." On June 22nd, 2024, Reed stated in an interview with Moorer that, "I know Brian Higgins had a role in helping kill him, help him get him in the snow, and help frame me, but I don't think Higgins necessarily would have wanted to really hurt John. I think Brian Albert and Colin Albert would have enjoyed roughing John up." Thanks, Aiden. Sorry about the waiting period, but he threw me a 10 and he said, "For the grift, for the grift." Tell me this, because I said this earlier. I don't know if you were watching how wild it is about, Brian LTL flipping to the I Hate Turtle Boy side, because didn't he, while you were in jail in the Norfolk County Pokey getting your hair cut by what was that guy's name? The barber. The jailhouse barber. I forget his name. You guys remember his name? Didn't he run your channel for you? Didn't he do some streams on your channel to try and help you? And didn't he make you a silver play button? And now all of a sudden, he's on he drank the green Kool-Aid. I hate we're calling it the green Kool-Aid, the I Hate Turtle Boy Kool-Aid, because we just watched a wild footnote. I think it was footnote 27 from this amended complaint, and thank them so much for filing this, because it was when Julie Grant thought Karen Reed was framed. It was fantastic. And so many people in the chat have never, ever, ever seen that before, and they're blown away by that. So I'm so glad that they added some new information, although I don't think it helps them. I just don't think it helps them. Thank you for the 10, for the grift. PJ, B, kitty purr. I don't feel bad since Aiden got hidden. Also, YouTube is wild. It's doing crazy things. Nobody on my channel would ever hide him from this channel. He's welcome here. Your regular account's been hidden. You have to email me. You have to be smart enough to find my email in the show notes below this video. And then you email me your channel link. That is the only way that I can look you up. I can't look you up with your username, your real name, anything like that. You have a link, even if you don't have a YouTube channel. And that's the only way I can look into it. Look at the UK is here, and they're standing with you in the UK. It says the Quiet Wild UK. All right, here we go. It has to be the link. There's nothing I can do without the link. Your username, no. You have to have the link. Again, let's keep going. Further, during the interview, Moorer, oh wait. I think Brian Albert and Colin Albert would have enjoyed roughing John up. Further, during the interview, Moorer asked Reed, "You make such strong statements about, I think Colin Albert killed him. I don't know how without getting sued, because I don't even know if I hope we're gonna be able to use some of that, because it's public record what you said." That's what Terry Moorer says. Here's what Terry Moorer says to Karen Reed. "You make such strong statements about, I think Colin Albert killed him. I don't know how without getting sued, because I don't even know if I hope we're going to be able to use some of that, because it's public record what you said." So they even know that it's public record, but they're afraid of printing it because maybe they all got threatening letters. Who knows? Reed responded, quote, if Colin can prove that I'm lying and this is defamatory, he can sue me. Where's the footnote to this? Apparently they've got footage on this. These must be like cutting room floor type stuff recorded and maybe video recorded also. Did Terry Moore reach out to them and say, hey, guess what? I think I can help you in your defamation lawsuit. Let me give you what I have. XOXO. Terry Moore. Reed made these false statements about Jennifer McCabe, Colin Albert, Brian Albert, and Brian Higgins' involvement in the death of O'Keefe, even though she knew that she was responsible for O'Keefe's death when she struck O'Keefe with her car while backing up at a high rate of speed just after 12:30 a.m. on January 29th of 2022, a fact she admitted several times on January 29th of 2022. Well, did she just after 12:30 a.m., you mean when she was hooking up to the Wi-Fi at One Meadows? Even if she was around the block, she was still over at One Meadows just after 12:30 a.m. Make up your mind. Reed also knew that Jennifer McCabe, Colin Albert, Brian Albert, and Brian Higgins had nothing to do with O'Keefe's death. I disagree. None of us know that they had nothing to do with O'Keefe's death. Nobody can say that they know that for sure. Hold on one second. Knowing that her statements were likely to be disseminated to a mass audience, Reed defamed the plaintiffs in this manner in order to discredit them and deflect responsibility from herself. Well, did that ever air? Did that ever air? Hold on, because now I got to look it up. To do that, I have to get into Pro. With the passkeys and all this bullshit. No, I don't need a passkey. Just I'll do it on my phone. All right, we don't need to argue about the Spencer Pratt thing. I agree. It was probably my fault for mentioning it, but can we just try and stay on topic? That'd be great. Thanks. There's over 6,600 of you in here. If you would hit the like button, that'd be really, really appreciative. I'd be really appreciative if you would do that for the algorithm and for me, because it's the nice thing to do. All right, so what's her most recent credit? A Body in the Snow. She's the one who did the Body in the Snow thing. And she had exclusive access to Karen Reed. And yet, in the end, she turned it into something of a hit piece, I think. If I recall correctly, there were 5 episodes of that thing. It aired in March of 2025, which would have been right before the second trial, right? Right. But this part never did air, correct? Am I right about that? Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay. There's no receipts here. It's not included, but all of these paragraphs were included for everything that, or certain things that Karen Reed said to Terry Moore, which even indicates, even though it didn't air on television, that this is what she really, really, really believes. Okay. Keep going. We're at page 28. Oh, did I not? Is this where I left off? Hold on. Nope. All right, page 32. There's a new paragraph here. See, on November 4th, 2024, Carney, again, this is all old stuff. This is not new stuff that happened since the filing of the complaint. We're going to get to that after. This is all stuff that they could have had when they filed the first complaint. But again, they're allowed to amend as a matter of right. So there's nothing wrong with them amending their complaint. But again, a lot of this stuff was old. So like this one on November 4th of 2024, Carney posed on his official X account. It does say posed a photo of Brian Albert and said, Brian Albert went out for lunch today at the Longwood Galleria in Boston. It didn't go the way he hoped. I'd share my thoughts on this, but when I did that with Chris Albert, I was indicted for witness intimidation. So for now, I'll just say that even if they get away with what they did to John O'Keefe, this is going to be their life moving forward. Should have come out of the house. Footnote 48 says Aidan Carney, Dr. Turtleboy, ex post, November 4th, 2024. Okay, which is here. Okay. Take this down, put this up. Brian Albert went out for lunch today at the Longwood Galleria in Boston. It didn't go the way he'd hoped. I'd share my thoughts on this, but when I did that with Chris Albert, I was indicted for witness intimidation. So for now, I'll just say that even if they get away with what they did to John O'Keefe, this is going to be their life moving forward. Should have come out of the house. And then there's a video attached to this. And here it is.
Welcome to Longwood Galleria. Let's get justice for John O'Keefe. We got Brian Albert sitting in the front. Woo! Shout out to you. Cough killer, cough killer. Welcome to Longwood Galleria.
Okay, that is not Aidan Carney's voice. I don't know who that is, but was that on the loudspeaker at this Longwood Gallery? Where is Longwood Galleria? I remember hearing about this. I don't know if it ever came out who exactly did this, but Turtleboy didn't do it. Are you going to sue this woman too? Brian Albert's sitting in the food court, and this is what happens. Come to your screen if you can.
Welcome to Longwood Galleria. Let's get justice for John O'Keefe. We got Brian Albert sitting in the front. Woo! Shout out to you. Cough killer, cough killer. Well,
It's not him. I mean, is it his fault that somebody did that? Or did maybe somebody watch Julie Grant on Court TV and they thought, wow, Julie Grant thinks that Karen Reed was framed and that this is a frame job. And Julie Grant thinks that people in the house did something. So I'm going to carry a megaphone and I'm going to do something with a bullhorn. This was posted on November 4th of 2024. You're going to blame everything on Turtleboy? I mean, is Turtleboy responsible for everything that happens in your life? Do you take responsibility for nothing, or do you blame nobody else because now you're friends with Julie Grant? Here's why the reason that they attached this tweet is because it said Brian Albert went out for lunch today at the Longwood Galleria in Boston. It didn't go the way he'd hope. I'd share my thoughts on this, but when I did that with Chris Albert, I was indicted for witness intimidation. That's true. Everything he said right there is true. So for now, I'll just say that even if they get away with what they did to John O'Keefe, this is going to be their life moving forward. Should have come out of the house. Well, thanks for the extra footnotes, I guess. Next up is on page 34, a new paragraph, which is under the section, the retrial and acquittal of Karen Reed. Maybe they put in a new section here because I don't know where the hell it is. On April 1, 2025, the second trial of Karen Read began with jury selection. And then this is new, 117. As part of that trial, the Commonwealth subpoenaed Carney to provide testimony. On April 16th of 2025, Carney, through his counsel, informed the trial court that if the Commonwealth called him as a witness, Carney would invoke his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. In support of, and he has every right to do that because he was on facing a whole bunch of criminal charges related to this case and these witnesses and these HOS plaintiffs and these HOS defendants. In support of that assertion, Carney's counsel asked the court to take judicial notice of the 16 indictments against Carney. That's right, there were 16 at the time. Carney was present in the courtroom when his counsel invoked the Fifth Amendment on his behalf. In contrast, the plaintiffs each testified under oath several times, including during the first trial of Karen Read. Yeah, they weren't under indictment. They weren't even under suspicion. They were never even considered suspects because of a shoddy investigation by a very corrupt Michael Proctor. He's also, by the way, misogynistic, racist, anti-Semitic, may grape women in their sleep, or at least he wants to get in the back door while they're sleeping and then, eject all over them, let's say. Yeah, you testified because you really, really, really wanted people to think that John O'Keefe was hit by a car, and none of you were indicted on anything. Will that happen at some point? I don't know. A lot of people think it should. The Fifth Amendment exists for a reason. He had every right not to testify. And by the way, what did they really need his testimony for anyway? The only reason that he was put on the witness list is to keep him out of the courtroom, to keep him from earning a living, which is exactly what you're trying to do with this lawsuit, among other things. Getting Meredith out there to try and strike all kinds of channels and get people to flag all kinds of videos to get them taken down, which many of your footnotes have been taken down, thanks maybe in part to that person and her supporters. Okay? In contrast, the plaintiffs each testified under oath several times, including during the first trial of Karen Read. The plaintiffs never invoked their Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination in connection with any testimony or statement to law enforcement. So what does that mean? That means you didn't do it because you didn't plead the Fifth? You've never been charged with anything because nobody ever investigated the murder of John O'Keefe except to pin it on the girl. Am I in the Twilight Zone? I might be. Bob Weir 617 says, they blame Turtle Boy when they get caught in traffic. Yeah, because so many people are looking at their billboard. I don't know if Higgins signed a proffer. That was a rumor that went around for a while, but I don't know that it's ever been confirmed. Okay, I don't know how that makes you think that it proves your defamation case more, that Aidan Carney pled the Fifth because he's been brought up on 16 charges of witness intimidation on a statute that is rarely ever enforced, okay? Unless perhaps a witness to a murder trial finds a horse's head in their bed. Maybe then whoever put it there could be charged with witness intimidation because, the Godfather and all. What? There was no reason for him to testify in the Karen Read case. He wasn't a witness to anything. Just like none of you apparently were a witness to anything either, except the guy never came in the house. And then as your story evolved and evolved and evolved, finally Jennifer McCabe at trial, the first time she ever says it is Karen Read said, I heard Karen Read say, I hit him. And of course, it also came out in the trial that Kerry Roberts lied when she testified in front of the grand jury, when she told the grand jury that she heard Karen Read tell Jen McCabe to Google hypothermia. She admitted that she lied and she really didn't hear Karen Read say that to Jen McCabe. She just knew that it happened. Wow. All right. There's that. And then we move on And then here, this is a defendant's defamation campaign continues after trial concludes. So that's a whole new section, which comes right after the paragraph that ends. It's going to be glorious when it happens. So let's just see if we can get there on this end. Because G used to be the impact. Carney and Reed's conspiracy. It's going to be glorious when that happens. Okay, so this is where this new section comes in right here. After old paragraph, right before old paragraph 107, which was on old page 32. Defendant's defamation campaign continues after trial concludes. That is just a new section. However, on June 18th, 2025 is from the old complaint. So they're just putting in a new section here, a new header, I should say, a new header. And then we get to here's some new stuff, all the stuff that happened after they filed their lawsuit on April 16th of 2026. So where's the picture? There's the picture. Talks about rotten mango. Okay. On April 16th, 2026, plaintiffs filed this lawsuit. This is all new. Shortly after being served with the complaint, Carney reposted defamatory material concerning the plaintiffs that he had previously published. For example, on April 20th, 2026, Carney reposted a third-party post that shared Carney's Canton cover-up blog from April 20th of 2023, wherein Carney falsely stated that the men inside of 34 Fairview on January 29th of 2022 were involved in the actual killing of John O'Keefe and that McCabe stood by their side and helped them cover up the crime. Footnote 65, which says, this is where Kyle Sharkey gets a mention. It says, this page doesn't exist. Try searching for something else. Oh, well. Oops. Guess it doesn't exist anymore. That was footnote 65. How dare he repost old content? He reposted Kyle Sharkey's tweet. New paragraph 133 says, on May 9th, 2026, Carney posted a live YouTube video encouraging his followers to attend and protest a fundraiser hosted by a supporter of the plaintiffs and stating that the fundraiser was being held for the people that framed Karen Reed for murder and that referring to, among others, the plaintiffs, they killed John O'Keefe. Carney continued, the trolls are like, oh my God, he's doubling down by saying and saying that and saying that. Of course I'm doubling down. You think I'm going to stop saying that these people killed John O'Keefe because they sued me? Why would I stop saying that? I believe it. I know it to be true. Footnote 66. To 2022 footage of me talking about Karen Reed discovered YouTube. Okay, let's see. Does that come up? Okay, well, wait, I have it pulled up on my other screen. Hold, please. Stop. See, that's what happens if you don't have YouTube Premium. You get these crazy commercials, and then you have to listen to them. Here's what they're trying to do with this lawsuit, as they are clearly telling you here. is to shut him up. Make him stop blogging about me. Can't you make him stop blogging about me? We're going to keep amending our complaint with all the mean things that he says about us until kingdom come. But here it is. Here's footnote 66. They want us to watch it. We're going to watch it. Impromptu 2022 footage of me talking about Karen Read discovered. We're going to watch the whole damn thing. It's 27 minutes. And then I'm going to watch hockey and we're going to finish this tomorrow. But they want us to watch this. So let us watch it. This was posted May 9th, 2026. This was a live stream, impromptu 2022 footage of me talking about Karen Read discovered. Good. Let's hear what he's got to say about it from his own words. Of course, I'm going to take your questions before I go. So I'm not going to flat leave you.
Yo! What's up, everybody? Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever it is. Whatever it is right now. Anyway. How's everybody doing?
Bay Harbor Beauty. I don't know anything about Bay Harbor Beauty.
The show is tomorrow. This is impromptu.
Hold on. I have to tell you what this is.
This is,
this is that whipped beef, grass-fed beef tallow that I was telling you about. I have no foundation on tonight because I was outside all day in the pool swimming. There's nothing. It's beef tallow and it's amazing. It's in my Amazon list below because I like to share secrets. I don't know anything about Bay Harbor Beauty, but this stuff is amazing and it's like $30. All right, here we go.
Announced, as they say. Just want to clear something up because I'm going to be driving for like the next hour.
I'm going to put it a little bit faster.
I just want to talk about something real quick. It's really important. So anyway, yeah, nice little surprise here for you guys. Eternal surprise. Want to address something. Remember, the main show is tomorrow night at 9. I'm starting to like the Sunday show. You know, the ratings are just as good, if not better. And this enables me to have like a life on the Saturday night to go out. Dude, the weather right now, I watch soccer games in this rain all day today, and I'm just like, this fucking sucks. And then I watch Will's Clever Walk today, and it's like, oh, that looks nice. That you could just live.
Oh yeah, sorry. Trigger warning for language. If your kids are in the room, you may want to put your earbuds in. And also, yeah, especially if you have kids, Saturday nights is really hard. So I don't know if he'd permanently switch his show to Sunday, but it's a good way for everyone to start their week. I don't know. I would say it's not a bad idea. All right, here we go.
In a state like that, huh? It's like Tennessee's not like, I mean, it's the South, but it's like not like Florida, you know? And it's just like, oh, that's just what it's like in the rest of the country. It's just nice. Because it's the middle of fucking May. And that's the way it's supposed to be in May. It's supposed to be nice. It's not supposed to be 45 degrees and rainy. It's not supposed to be this way. This sucks. You can't even go out. People have blankets on and shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, but yeah, here we are. We choose to live here, don't we? But anyway, guys, yeah, welcome. Impromptu Live. So I want to talk about something. So there was a thing going around on Twitter that like I can't read it right now because I'm driving, obviously. But
oh, great. So is he going to explain himself? Now they're attaching the video where he explains himself and what he thought in 2022. This is fantastic. He doesn't even need to testify. They can just play all these videos.
Like, and I'll probably play more of it on the show tomorrow, but this is just wild. So all of a sudden, like people started sending me audio of me saying that I'm like, oh, Karen Read, I think she hit him with the car and blah, blah, blah. And the whole thing that they're pushing with this is they're like, oh, see, he doesn't actually, remember, the whole basis of the McAlbert lawsuit because he doesn't actually believe any of this stuff. He doesn't actually believe that Karen Read was framed. He knows she's guilty, but he's being, not paid by her, but he's being paid off by all you fine people, like that him and her conspire to like create this lie in order to get her off and make money for me. It's a win-win situation. This is the fairy tale that Club Retired has spinned on there with zero evidence. And so they get this audio and they're like, see, this is evidence. He doesn't actually believe Karen Read was innocent. He says that she was hit by a car. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, I have no idea where it's from. They're like, it was framed as like, oh, this is another recording. Oh, he records everything. Or someone recorded him. They like to do that one. Like, oh, someone in his circle has betrayed him. They love doing that. There's a leak in his circle, his inner circle. And so I'm like, what is this? So I know there's more to this. Whatever the fuck this audio is, I know there's more to it, right? But I don't know what it is, where it's from. So I don't even know what to do with this. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to go off camera real quick. I'm going to play it for you guys so you guys can hear it. You guys ready? Look at it. So this is what, let's see. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Intentional do it is she hit him with the rear of the car. Like, who killed somebody by, what makes me think she didn't intentionally do it is she hit him with the rear of the car. Like, who killed somebody by backing into them? Like, no, you're going to kill somebody. But again, what makes me think she didn't intentionally do it is she hit him with the rear of the car. Like, who killed somebody by backing into them? Like, no, you're going to kill somebody. But again, listen, what makes me think she didn't intentionally do it is she hit him with the rear of the car. She hit him with the rear of the car. You're going to kill somebody. But again, what makes me think she didn't intentionally do it is she hit him with the rear of the car. Like, who killed somebody by backing into them? Like, no, all right, you're going to, so there's that clip. And I'm like, okay, well, what's that? And I'm like, I look at it and it's just, you know, it's like, just like a blue screen. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea where this is from. I'm like, I was flummoxed when I heard this. I can't explain it if I don't know the context. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know the shenanigans afoot. I just don't know what the shenanigans are. Right. And so, four of these clips, right? Let's see, what's this one? Accident. I think she was drunk, which makes it not okay, obviously, but I think it was. I don't think she intentionally killed him. I think it was an accident. What about this one? No doubt, she killed him. Because obviously the tail light was out. But who the fuck intentionally kills someone by backing into them? I've never heard of that before, ever. That's what leads me to believe. And I think it's quite possible. So, yeah, so there you go, right? So how do you explain that? Like, how do you explain that? Like, I don't know what that is. So I'm like, how do I explain it? Well, it's like they're making it seem like this is something within the last couple of years, right? Like, this is something that I've said since like this is what he's saying when the cameras aren't on him. Like, that's the way they're trying to, oh shit, when no one's looking, this is what he says. And they love that shit. They love that gotcha shit, right? Then this afternoon, I found out where it was from. Okay. So as it turns out, episode, I believe it's 454. Let's see what we have here. Yeah. Episode 4, Turtle Boy Live, episode 454. Go to the 44-minute and 30-second mark. Okay. Man, shows were short back then. The name of the show was titled Don't Hate Your Kids. Because I was, instead of writing about the Karen Reed case, this is on February 10th, 2022. Instead of writing about the Karen Reed case, I'm writing about some ratchet who went on Facebook and said that she hates her kids. That was the name of the show. Don't Hate Your Kids. And so, you know, but I do Q&A at the end. You know, I do Q&A at the end. And I had no idea this happened. And this is actually wild to me. Okay. I had no idea that I talked about the Karen Reed case. I thought I never talked about this before. I thought my coverage in April of 2023 is when I began. But I didn't like cover it. So I'm going to play. Somebody asks me in the chat, like I would bring up commenters, and this is back when I had like 300 people watching, right? And somebody asked me, what do you think about that woman who allegedly killed her Boston police officer boyfriend? Okay. And now let's listen to what I say. Let me play the whole thing. Ready? All right. Did anybody else have any? What are their thoughts with the Boston police officer that was hit by his girl? Okay. So that I was going to blog about that last week. So that's a great question. John O'Keefe last 2 weekends ago was killed outside during a snowstorm. In that snowstorm we had. They found him in, I think, like right outside the front lawn of their friend's house in Canton. So they went out, him and his girlfriend named Karen Reed. She's like this, you know, she probably wears a pantsuit. She looks like she's educated and has a good job and shit. She's not charged with manslaughter because they went out that night and they went to some bar and they were drunk. And then she dropped them off at this house in Canton at a friend's house. And she went, I assume, back to his house because I think he lived in Canton. And she lived in like Mansfield, which I don't think is that close to Canton. So the plan, I guess, he was supposed to come home. I don't know if she was going back to pick him up or what, but
he's replaying his old 2022 show that they referenced in the new complaint. And he's going to get to explain it now. So thanks for attaching this as well.
She drops him off. And then she does a 3-point turn and drives away. And he's later found on the freaking, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, she's trying to text him, call him, he's not answering. And she's worried. And so she has a couple friends drive her to the house. Go to the house. And then on the way, she's like, oh my God, did I hit him? Did I hit him? Because she noticed that her back tail light was broken. Yeah, okay. And so she's like, did I hit him? Oh my God. And then she gets there and she sees his body like buried under snow. Like she knew where he was. The other people couldn't see him. She knew exactly where he was, which was suspicious, I guess. And so she, because of that information, she's arrested for manslaughter. And I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. I'm perfectly honest with you. Okay, be honest. I don't know. Like, the reason I didn't write about that story is because I didn't have a strong take on it. Oh, good idea. Like, I don't, did you happen to follow that story, Deb, in the news?
Oh, yeah, I was watching it too. I was kind of confused, but she might have been like drunk or something.
Or something. I don't know. She was definitely drunk.
Like, I just really, she might have blacked out or something.
Which leads me to believe that, which leads me to ask, like,
accident. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, I have no doubt it was, no doubt, but like, I don't know what the motive was, because people were saying that they were not fighting. They did not appear to be fighting, which would be an indicator that this was premeditated, she was angry, whatever. But if she was that drunk, then why was she the driver? He's a cop. Like, why would a cop get in the car with somebody that was that? Well, I mean, how drunk was he then? Right? Like, how drunk?
If she was a better person, yeah.
Yeah, like, no doubt she killed him. Oh, that's because obviously the tail was out. But who the fuck intentionally kills someone by backing into them? I've never heard of that before. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. That's what leads me to believe. And I think it's quite possible in that state that you could back into someone without them knowing, but you'd have to be drunk. I think you'd have to be 24 miles an hour. You know, and you don't know what you're talking about. I don't go to Turtle Boy Pass. I don't know her. I don't know her. So that's the big reason I didn't. Don't know her. I like to have strong take when I write a blog, and I don't want to be like a fence hitter. Yeah. And I don't know. And I don't know if she was. And it's like sensitive, like with the Boston police. It is sensitive. I don't know how they feel about it. But I did test the waters with some cops. Oh, really? He said he was murdered. Wow, that's a strong word, murdered. I did text some cops about it, and they said the same thing. They're just like, it seemed like it was an accident. Oh, like, cops were okay. I don't know. You know, so she's being charged with manslaughter. Yeah, I don't. I mean, she definitely. She did kill someone regardless. So no, she didn't. Yeah, but if it's an accident, can you charge someone to? I mean, if it's considered the snowy conditions, it doesn't matter. It still could be. If you chose to drive drunk, it's still. She's not even.
Who was he talking to on this old show? Does anybody know who the female voice is? Thank you, Angela Sanders Books, for gifting 10 memberships. You're so amazingly generous. I appreciate you so much. Nope.
Charged with DUI though. No, but she gets convicted. I didn't see DUI charge. You don't even know. It's a long story. They can't prove you're drunk the next day. No, but it's a strategy. So if she was drunk, she'll get away with that. I think the cops just know she was drunk. They had to charge her with something. I don't know, man. Manslaughter. I don't know how the law works.
Well, involuntary manslaughter, you can still like catch a charge, like for involuntary manslaughter, even if you were like driving your car.
It's Kate Peter.
Do anything wrong, you know, like and you hit ice and smash into someone and they die. Like depending on if you were the speed limit or not, that could still be like involuntary manslaughter. Sure. You shouldn't have been driving the speed limit knowing there was ice on the roads. Because you might have killed someone, you know, like.
That's true.
Wow, this is so interesting because this is back when Kate Peter used to like work for him. It wasn't Kate Peter, but it does sound like her. All right, it's not Kate Peter. Okay, forget it. It does sound like her. I had to turn it to normal speed.
There's a lot of.
Or if you drop him off at a house with Brian Higgins. Jack says chicks don't ask questions when they run stuff over. They just keep on chugging away. You're right. Aaron says, but sounds like they're saying it wasn't an accident. I think that's the hypothesis. I think that's what they're saying. I mean, they must. But again, what makes me think she didn't intentionally do it is she hit him with the rear of the car. No, she didn't. You kill somebody by backing into them.
Like, right, it's not Kate Peter.
You're going to kill somebody. You're going to go right. You're going to hit him going forward. You know, the medical examiner said he had black eyes and other injuries. Really? I wonder if a plow hit him. Oh, a plow. Wouldn't that be the fucking worst?
Oh, that's like possible because if he was arrested, he could have just not felt the cold and passed out.
What? Like, yeah, you would die real quick from the elements, from exposure.
This is 2022. He broadcast in May of 2026, but he's replaying the old found footage from 2022. I don't know who the woman is, but you're telling me it's not Kate Peter. Okay, he's going to tell us who it is, so let's just hold on.
How are all these people out on that snowstorm? Like, how that's a great question. That was a go home. Snowstorm. Why do you allow you idiots partying? Poor guy, though. Poor guy. She is the one who called that one. She is the one. I don't know. Let's vote in the comments. Do you guys think? Oh, vote in the comments. Based on what you've read and what I just told you. Vote in the comments. You guys think that Karen Reed intentionally killed her boyfriend, John O'Keefe? Vote 1 if yes. Vote 2 if. I was onto it. I figured it out back then. What do you guys think? I was suspicious back then. I've never heard this. I think it was an accident. I don't remember. I'm perfectly honest. I think it was an accident. I think she was drunk, which makes it not okay, obviously. But I think it was. I don't think she intentionally killed him. That's my. What do you think, Deb? Do you think she intentionally did it?
I don't think she did, but again, I don't know like the ins and outs. But my gut is like she didn't.
This is wild audio. It looks like most people are saying 2. Most people are saying 2. That was an accident. Wow. So the only thing with the plow theory is how would she know exactly where he was? He wasn't that far from the house. I mean, I'd like to see the scene. That's the thing about it. Yeah, you would. I'd like to see the scene. You should definitely. I mean, how far away was he? I mean, how hard would it really be? 10 feet. 10 feet. Not hard at all. Yeah. He's right there, Turtle Boy. Listen up. She definitely tried to cover it up. How'd you try to do that? I didn't know that. Who said that? No. I mean, the backup camera. My car doesn't. Now we know some cars do. I got a 2010. Yeah, we know. CRV. It was a real piece of shit. So I know the new cars all have that. I don't have middle class, right?
He had a 2010 CRV.
We have a camera. It doesn't beep or anything. I mean,
It's a good question from Caitlin there. How fast could she have been going in reverse to run a own man? That's a good question. Right. 24.2 miles an hour. All you really need to do is just hit him in the kneecaps. Kneecaps? Maybe he has a concussion. I don't know. Something freaky. But when you land in the... I don't know. See, it made no sense. I have so many questions about this. I read the entire complaint to the state police. And I don't get it. I wasn't convinced. I don't get it. I wasn't convinced. I knew something was up. I knew something was up. I fucking knew it. I'm a genius. Thank you for sharing. Oh my God.
Anybody
Holy
else?
shit.
Dark
That's my
people
first time
okay.
hearing that live. I just went into this
Why
ride.
did she call to go with someone? That's another question I had too, because she got picked up and brought there.
Well, not really.
Yeah, I'd like to see the scene. Maybe I'll Google the house.
Yeah, just go there.
That does make
Just go to the house, Turtle Boy.
Heard they have footage from the ring camera. No, there is footage from the. That's the thing. I bet you the footage from the ring camera shows something serious. They didn't explain what that was in the complaint.
I believe that. Wow.
The Illuminati couldn't explain there. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, like Laura says.
Awesome.
Hit that thumbs up.
This is
You may remember that when we were on footnote 8, they had this whole spiel about how Aiden Carney thought Karen Reed was guilty in the beginning because all the way back February 10th of 2022, he put up this video and he said all of these things in it. And then we clicked on the link that they posted and it's been taken down. It's been taken down. I think this may be what he's playing for us. But of course, the jury's never going to see the video because the video is not there because maybe, just maybe, somebody like Meredith and her minions had it stricken from the internet, so it doesn't exist. Do they have it? I don't know. But they've attached this as a different footnote, so we get to listen to it here.
Con's final one coming soon, I promise.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, she got picked up because she was still drinking, but it was like 3 or 4 hours later, too.
We're still talking about
I don't
this?
understand why she didn't go into the house. That's the other thing that makes me think it might have been a fight, Deb.
Oh,
why didn't she go in? Like,
I
we're all
said it
friends,
might
we're all
be a
hanging out.
fight.
I assume they were going to play
I
drinking
said that.
there or something.
I said
right?
it might be a fight.
Why wouldn't she go in? She's his ride. She's his ride there. That's what further makes me believe there might have been a fight leading up to that. Because
between the two of them.
So he's just hanging out and you're not going in, right? Why wouldn't you go in? You know. You see me Heather McDonald faint on stage while making jokes about her back. Who's Heather McDonald?
Okay.
She was like a comedian.
So is that
She cracked her head open. She fainted on stage and like cracked her dome like that.
I can't believe they found
that. Well, that's kind of funny.
This audio is awesome.
No offense. I mean, I've never heard of comedy before. That's probably funnier than anything she's done. I don't even know who that is. Is she famous? I guess.
I didn't know her. I did not know her until I saw her in the comment and like the news, you know.
I'm gonna stop this.
Hold on. You got to see that. Is that the thing they're talking about? I'll have to watch it. Linda knows what she's talking about. Linda, you coming to court next week?
It's Linda.
All right, so
her name's Linda.
That was something else, man. What do you guys think of that? That was crazy, man. That was crazy. We're gonna go over that probably more in depth on tomorrow night. But what you guys just heard there, I just heard that for the first time. Obviously, I said it in real time. That was over 4 years ago. I said that. So holy shit, I was onto it. I like knew because I would normally be all over a story like that. Like if I thought like whatever a cop gets killed, guys, like the Michael Chesla story, Sean Gannon, Ron Tarantino, like those stories I did, I would always write about those stories because that got people going. Like people got real fired up when a cop gets killed. And I was like I was a back the blue guy, you know, I'm a defend the cops guy, especially with all the BLM shit, right? So I'm like, okay, so I see a cop gets killed.
Yeah. So yes, Becca's BB's like, what is happening here? Is he watching himself answering questions on an old live? He's watching his old live from 2022 that recently hit the internet again because of all the anti-Turtle Boy people were trying to prove that. See, even Aiden Carney, Turtle Boy thought Karen Reed was guilty. He thought Karen Reed was guilty in February of 2022. The HOS plaintiffs tried to attach that exact video, which was Turtle Boy Live 454 from February 10th of 2022 to their amended complaint, but that video no longer exists because there's been a campaign to take things down. And now we are watching a different footnote in this complaint, which was, I don't even remember at this point why it was attached, but I'll let you know in a minute. But this is a footnote to the amended complaint of HOS plaintiffs Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert.
And I'm like, well, that's it. Let me look into this. And apparently I read the whole complaint. And I just remember feeling that is exactly how I've retold this story a million times. Is that when I first looked at this, I just felt bad for her because it was an accident, right? That's what I thought. That's what the media said it was. And I didn't even know that I was basing until right now. You guys just witnessed that real time.
I thought the same thing too. I heard it on the news and it said sources. I team and sources say that there's ring camera footage of the incident and Karen Reed's car has been impounded. And I was like, oh, that's a crazy story. Drunk woman backed into her boyfriend and left him in the snow to die. She probably didn't even know she did it. Tragic accident. Turn the page on it. Many of you might have felt the same way too. Let me know if that's the way you felt when you first heard about the story. And then we started to follow up on it and learn about it and read about it for ourselves.
First time hearing it. I didn't even know that I was basing my belief on the fake story about the ring camera video. That just further shows how effective that lie was. That the originator of that story, like, I'm sorry, maybe we need to like talk to Christine Rex because she works at WPZ. They are the ones who reported that. They need to out their source. They need to say who the fuck said that, because that is a complete and total lie. That was a complete and total lie, and it prevented people like me from looking into the sport. Like, you hear there's a ring camera video, it's over. You're like, well, that's the end of that. And I'm like, there's taillight there. It's on ring camera video. There was taillight there.
So maybe that was intentional. You think maybe they leaked that to the press. Somebody leaked it to the press. Somebody leaked it to the press. It was I-Team sources say, please have ring camera footage of the incident. Maybe that was intentional so that everyone would look the other way. Huh? Interesting.
So now these fucking lies. This is how you know these guys are so dishonest about this. Is that they let whoever the fuck clipped that, right? And then they didn't share the video of me saying it. They extracted the audio from it and just made it seem like it was a phone recording. Like, that's me talking to someone on the phone. I don't know I'm being recorded, whatever, and they make it sound like it's somewhat recent, like it's within, last 3 years since I started writing about this. So if I had said those things after April 18th, 2023, then certainly that would prove that I'm not believing the things I'm saying on the show. And they made it, like, whoever clipped it knew that. And they intentionally didn't play. Like, why would you take the audio out of that and not just play the original video? Why? Because context matters, and they know it. They know that context matters. They know that
the purpose of this attachment is when he says, if he says it in here, they say he posted a live YouTube video encouraging his followers to attend and protest a fundraiser hosted by a supporter of the plaintiffs. The trolls are like, oh my God, he's doubling down and saying that. Of course I'm doubling down. That's why they attached it. Did they not realize that the entire first part of this video is him playing the 2022 found footage that you referenced in another part of your complaint and explaining it? He doesn't even need to testify. This is his testimony. We haven't even got to the part where he says anything about a fundraiser, right? Man, I don't know who's doing this over there. I don't know. They're helping Aiden. Aiden, they're helping you. This helps you.
We would find out that I said that on February 10th, 2022, before any of this shit came out. So they intentionally just took that audio away from the video. They separated it from the video. They just took the audio. They presented it as if it was some sort of phone call I made, right? And that I was recorded on a phone call, or maybe I recorded it. I'm a serial recorder, right? And maybe I did it, and then I don't believe it. And they literally took this, and they're trying to use it in their fucking lawsuit against me. That's what Krusty made a post saying. This is how dishonest these people are. Again, this is the same person who literally created a fraudulent federal complaint in order to get a YouTube video taken down.
That's true.
Like, this is what she does.
True.
Like, so that is wild.
She admitted to it.
I'm going to re-listen to that more tomorrow on the show. But, like, I had no idea, no idea that I ever talked about that on the show. Because I never wrote about it. So it was never, I usually talk about the show things I wrote about. So, like, but I forgot the Q&A part. There's like a Q&A part. Like, so people in the comments were like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, well, you heard what I said. I'm like, well, it sounds like an accident. This case, like, yeah, I guess you did it. But listen to some of the things that I say that, like, don't make sense. I'm like, when one person says, like, how could she go that fast in the first? It's like, yes, that makes no sense, does it? If I had known the theory was 24.2 miles an hour in reverse, I would have said bullshit. And notice what I didn't know. I thought those were her friends. Jen McCabe was her friend. I didn't even know who Brian Albert was. I didn't know that it was at a cop's house. I didn't know that it was at a cop's house. I thought I opined live on the show without knowing anything about this case that maybe a fucking plow did it. That came to my mind. And it's so funny because that's what Karen Reed said, right? That's what Karen Reed supposedly said, right? And they made her sound like she's guilty because that's a thought that went through her head. Well, guess what? That's a thought that went through my head too, apparently. Like, that's crazy. And how about the comment in there about, like, hypothermia? Well, you wouldn't have, you get hypothermia pretty quick out there. Yeah, you fucking would. What if he was left out there at 12 for 5 hours and he didn't have hypothermia? What then? What then, turtle boy? Holy shit, dude. Holy shit balls. I can't believe that, dude. How wild was that? How wild was that? I don't know. Anyway, it's so satisfying disproving them, but it's also so tiring because this is like my life, right? Is just disproving dishonest people who take out of context clips and share them and try to make it seem like I'm saying something that I'm not. That's 90 lies that are spread about me. Unfortunately, these lies are used in court, right? They were used to indict me. They were used in the charging documents, right? They were used with the stupid restraining order. I mean, think about a month ago, I'm in court for a restraining order hearing, and some liar gets up there and says that I claimed that I was going to punch her in the nose. But that's not what the audio says. Let's see how that goes. Like, what? It's like, why do I constantly have to prove to these people that they're lying? And why are there no consequences for the lies? You know what I mean? It's like, and they say I'm the dishonest one. No, I'm the fucking honest one. I'm the one going around proving all these people are fucking liars, you know? And, you know, like by the way, Jim Altman, you guys might have seen it. Check out my tweets. She says she bought it. So Krusty apparently is having a fundraiser for the McAlberts.
Oh, here it is.
Go full turtle boy for the McAlberts. So she's doing a fundraiser at some club in Canton. And it's open to the public. Anyone can go.
Here's the fundraiser part, which starts 25 minutes and 38 seconds into the 34-minute video. But we got all of that other gold out of this video. So once again, thank you for your footnote. Here it is. He's going to talk about the fundraiser that Kate Peter is having a fundraiser.
Krusty apparently is having a fundraiser for the McAlberts. She's trying to go full turtle boy for the McAlberts. So she's doing a fundraiser at some club in Canton. And it's open to the public. Anyone can go. You know, I don't know who's going to be there, whatever. First of all, what if I went to that? Wouldn't Krusty have to leave? I'm just saying. I got an order on her. I can go to any fucking place I want. It's a free country. Now I ain't going to do that because the McAlberts will probably be all there and they have orders on me. So, like, I don't know how that would work. And also, I would never abuse an order like that. But either way, it's like, okay, so first of all of you, it's a free country. Anyone can go down there and protest that. Why the fuck not? You're protesting Krusty. You have every right. You guys could have an anti-Krusty protest there. It could be like, because they're like, oh, witness intimidation. Nope, we're not there to protest the witnesses. We are there to protest Krusty. You know, we'll call it bust the crust. You got to bust the crust. You guys can go down there. You can have your own.
I'm not going to suggest that anybody do that, by the way. You don't want to, please. The security that they're going to have there, they would arrest anybody who comes within a mile of that place.
Little protest down there and say Krusty is a liar. She forges federal documents. There's a million things. She abuses children. She abused her own children, lost them to the state. So you could have like an anti-child abuse rally. You do a lot of things down there. You know, bust the crust. And so she had.
But again, this is all about Kate Peter. He hasn't said anything about the House defendants. All right.
And guess what fucking day they're doing it on? Juneteenth. Yes, they're having it on fucking Juneteenth. All right. You got that? The support group from Michael Proctor, who apparently celebrates Kill a N-Word Day in Canton, is having a support fundraiser for people like him. Elizabeth Proctor is one of them. Elizabeth Proctor is one of these fucking people who is an alleged fucking victim of mine, right? And she's married to a known racist, an undeniable racist. I mean, you're using Kill a N-Word Day in Canton, not pretty racist, okay? Good luck talking your way out of that one. So, you know, they're doing that on Juneteenth. You know, we're supposed to be celebrating the abolition of slavery, and these mofos are down there. You know, this is gonna be all white people too. You know, there will be zero black people there, zero. So all these white people there, and all these skinheads like Tully and the people, you know, call them skinheads because they're skinheads. You know, there's just skin on their head, and so they're gonna be doing that. And let's not forget, this is being run by a woman who called that brilliant foreman of the jury an Uncle Tom, which is one of the most racist slurs. I would argue calling a black person an Uncle Tom, if you're white, is worse than the N-word. I would argue to say that. The N-word is an ugly word, right? Got a lot of negative historical context to it. It's also widely used in rap music and other things, right? Whereas Uncle Tom is not. Uncle Tom is entirely negative. Entirely. Okay? And, you know, so, yeah. Anyway, think about that. There's no person, like, she called him an Uncle Tom because he didn't vote the way that she, as a white woman, wanted him to vote. So when black people get out of line to Krusty, they're called Uncle Toms. And so I would argue that this thing that they're having on June 19th, hold on one second.
It's crazy. We didn't even get to the Turtle Boy was right part yet. That's going to be in part 2 of this video, but they're saying that him telling people to talk in code about the Alberts and McCabe's, we need to talk in code and we need to think of something to say in code. That means
we're back. Sorry about
they did it.
All right. I was muted on purpose. So anyway.
Was Turtle Boy's right?
They're actually going to have, like, I would say that, like, you know, as social justice freedom fighters out here, anti-racist freedom fighters, I think we should, you know, I think it'll be more than fair to protest this white supremacist rally, because that's what it is. They're having a white supremacist rally on Juneteenth. A bunch of racist white people are getting together and they are raising money for other racist white people. And on Juneteenth, they're trying to take that holiday. I mean, we worked hard to eradicate slavery, you know? A lot of people died for that. House divided on itself cannot stand.
Many of you may not know that Aiden Carney used to be a history teacher. I think he was a high school history teacher. He knows a lot about history.
half slave, half free. Can't have it. And now Krusty wants to bring slavery back, I guess. I mean, what else do you call it if you're a white person trying to hold a white supremacist rally on Juneteenth? You're bringing back slavery. That's the only thing I can think of there. So I think there should be a protest to that. You know, I probably won't be able to attend because there's people there with orders on me. But maybe somebody else takes the lead. You know, maybe somebody else takes the lead. Wouldn't that be interesting? If like hundreds of people, let's see the boots on the ground down there. That's what I want to see. Let's see. Okay, you know, Boston Brandy and I, we've had our differences. That's how she could redeem herself, and all those people could redeem themselves. You want to show me that you actually?
I mean, listen. They're trying to scare people away from doing this. They're trying to scare people from talking about them. They're trying to scare Aiden from continuing to talk about them because all this, he continues to talk about it after the defamation case was filed against him because he's like, I don't care. What I'm saying is not defamation. You're trying to shut me up and it's not going to work. Isn't it so obvious from looking at all these footnotes that that is exactly what they're trying to do? And doesn't that have a chilling effect on free speech? And that is why the Meghan Markle and Harry worldwide privacy tour didn't really work.
Give a fuck about Karen Reed? Get your ass down. Or raising money to sue Karen Reed. Fuck me. You don't have to like me. They're attacking Karen Reed. Okay? Those are the people that framed Karen Reed for murder. They killed John O'Keefe. All the people, and that's the other thing patrols are like, oh my God, he's doubling down and saying that? Of course I'm doubling down. You think I'm going to stop saying that these people killed John O'Keefe because they sued me? That would be proving, like, why would I stop saying that? I believe it. I know it to be true. So, like, why would I stop saying something I believe to be true? Huh? So, yeah, man. Why are they doing this? Because they want naming money for their stupid lawsuit. Krusty's doing it just so she can stay in their good graces, kind of, you know, because she's kind of useless now. Now that my devices are clean and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, I got nothing more to say. I just wanted to play that for you. We'll play some more tomorrow on the show. We got to play that again. I can't believe that. I need to break that down again.
This is satire.
So anyway, you can check it out. Where's Devin? I missed Devin. I haven't talked to Devin so long. I mean, unless I texted her, but I mean, we didn't have, like, for all the people like, oh, he's a phone, whatever. I haven't had one. She just dropped off the face of the earth. She used to be like my behind the scenes person. You know, she never came on camera or anything. I've never met her in real life. But you know, she would just kind of run the show for me. And over time, I just didn't talk to her as much. And then, like, I'll send her a text once in a while. And I remember, like, are you okay? Are you alive? What's going on? And she's like, yo, I'm good. I'm just really busy. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So that just proves that, like, oh, everybody has a falling out with no, they don't. Some people just have shit to do. They're busy and they move on with their lives. Like, that's how normal adults have functional relationships. Like, it's a burst your bubble. But she was great. I forgot how great that was awesome. She would just be behind the scenes, you know, kind of running point, bringing shit up for me if I needed to do it. It was great. It was great. So, but all right, guys. Anyway, I think that's about it. I gotta go. Get started on my night number of shows tomorrow night. Not tonight. But we will see you guys all. All right, guys. See you guys all tomorrow night at 9. All right. Peace to you, bunkers. Howdy.
Peace to your bum crease. Peace to your bum crease.
Top down, ride down, rain, so clear, night screens going.
We're only on paragraph 134. We're only on page 40 out of 58 pages. We have to do this right. And so we're going to have to come back for a part 2. Let's take a look at the chat right now. Wait, before we do that, here's this happened today. Boston 25, a new news piece. Check this out. This is just from tonight's news about Proctor and his text messages and Good in his text messages and all the defendants who now want them.
All right, we're following breaking news here at the Live Alert Desk. The agency behind Massachusetts public defense attorneys says every case involving former state trooper Michael Proctor and recently resigned Canton Sergeant Sean Good should be re-examined in the wake of Karen Reed's new lawsuit. It revealed alarming new text messages from both men. The Committee for Public Counsel Services says the racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, and otherwise hateful messages exchanged by former trooper Michael Proctor and former Sergeant Sean Good are deeply troubling. It goes on to say the messages point to serious bias and misconduct and raise immediate concerns about the fairness of cases in which they were involved. I just spoke moments ago with Boston 25 legal analyst Peter Ellikin. He is also a criminal defense attorney and says that
I love Peter Ellikin. One of the times I was on Court TV back in the beginning, before I would never go on again because they kept putting Jennifer Kaufenhofer on with me, and she tried to make me look like a fool. And who looks like a fool now? Peter Ellikin was on me, and I really love him. We knew this was coming. The entire public defender system of Massachusetts thinks that every single case either of these guys worked on should be reviewed. Let's hear that again.
Messages from both Massachusetts. All right, we are following breaking news here at the Live Alert Desk. The agency behind Massachusetts public defense attorneys says every case involving former state trooper Michael Proctor and recently resigned Canton Sergeant Sean Good should be re-examined in the wake of Karen Reed's new lawsuit. It revealed alarming new text messages from both men. The Committee for Public Counsel Services says the racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, and otherwise hateful messages exchanged by former Trooper Michael Proctor and former Sergeant Sean Good are deeply troubling. It goes on to say the messages point to serious bias and misconduct and raise immediate concerns about the fairness of cases in which they were involved. I just spoke moments ago with Boston 25 legal analyst Peter Ellikin. He is also a criminal defense attorney and says the texts revealed in Reed's lawsuit go far beyond poor taste and bad judgment.
This is more than and goes beyond just sort of insults and poor taste phrasing of things. It really is that they may have been prejudiced and worked against various people in shaping the way the cases are. This is incredibly serious and really has opened up an entire new dimension to what Proctor may have been doing.
The Public Defender's Agency is asking state police and the Norfolk DA for an accounting on all cases involving Proctor and Good so they can review for bias.
Wow.
The Norfolk DA's office tonight tells us it is already providing that information to defense attorneys in both current and past cases. We're still waiting to hear back from state police.
And now look at this. Here's the actual letter. Here's the actual letter from the Committee for Public Counsel Services Private Counsel Division. Let me make it bigger for you. We like receipts here. We like receipts. And it turns out that he just pointed out to me that Damon Seligson posted this. Committee for Public Counsel Services, defending the people of Massachusetts. Anthony J. Benedetti, Chief Counsel. This is out of Boston, Mass. June 9th, 2026. That's today. Look at us getting right on it. Jennifer Staples, Jennifer Staples, Chief Legal Counsel, Massachusetts State Police. Framingham. R.E. Former Massachusetts State Police Detective Michael Proctor. Dear Chief Staples, I am writing in light of the recently filed civil complaint listing virulently racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, and hateful text and audio messages exchanged by Michael Proctor and Sean Good. See the attached complaint of Karen Reed versus the MSP in Canton. There are also allegations in the complaint that Proctor messaged at least one fellow officer, if not more, about planting evidence on suspects. We knew this was coming. I said that. I said it. According to the complaint, the Massachusetts State Police were aware of these messages at least as early as February of 2024. Yep. But did not investigate, discipline, terminate, or otherwise punish Proctor, nor take any steps to examine whether his bigotry was impacting his police work at the time. Also, prior to joining the MSP, Proctor shared his reprehensible views with, quote, other law enforcement officers, presumably at least members of the Canton Police Department, if no other agencies. It's all happening. It's all happening. There's no question that such messages demonstrate bias and misconduct by the officers who sent them and therefore constitute mandatory discovery under Rule 14 of the Massachusetts Rule of Criminal Procedure. Therefore, any defendant who has or had a case involving Proctor is entitled to be made aware of these messages to ensure that all impacted defendants receive the evidence to which they are constitutionally entitled. I ask that Massachusetts State Police provide to the Committee for Public Counsel Services a list of all open and closed cases in which Michael Proctor was an investigator. Wow. Wow. They want it all. They want everything. What a great time to be alive. Every single case that Proctor ever touched, the public defenders want it. Because I've been saying that. How long have I been saying this for? You know, if you listen to me rant all the time, every single prisoner in prison in Massachusetts is going to be clanging on the jailhouse doors saying he planted a bag of coke on me. Wow. This should include the defendant's name, docket number of the case, the Massachusetts State Police internal case number, and the numbers of any police reports produced in the case. I appreciate your attention to this request, and I look forward to your response. XOXO. Anthony J. Benedetti, chief counsel. There it is, folks. There it is. It's all happening. It's all starting. It's happening. Here we go. Back to your questions. Cupcakes for Justice. Tell Gigi I have the matching pocketbooks for those shoes. So many bags. Thank you for your 5. I appreciate you, Cupcakes for Justice. Gigi says, Mel, they're only gone if you've deleted them. Some have not. Not sure who. Thanks, Gigi. I'll allow it. Sai says, if the court allowed them to put on a third-party defense, that means the court saw enough proof to do it. So not defamation. Good point. Angela said, what's the statute of limitations in Massachusetts for these civil cases? 3 years. 3 years on the defamation and the wrongful death. Thank you very much. Gigi says, I only speak the truth. That dingbat was in here. Unfortunately for them, I have some time to figure them out. Oh, Gigi. She's recuperating from shoulder surgery so she can do all the armchair detective work from her bed. Kara says, this is wild to watch these old clips. I'm from Toronto and only got this during trial 1. Got into this during trial 1. Wow. These clips helped her boy. I love your show so much, Mel. Oh, I love you so much too, Kara. Kara Leah. And thank you for tuning in from Canada, where Harry and Meghan did their worldwide privacy tour. Jennifer says, I know a car did not hit John. My only issue is Karen doesn't say I did not do it. She did, though. Remember, we just saw it on the courthouse steps. Didn't she just say it on the courthouse steps? We know who did it, Steve. I think she said it before. I mean, point it out. Somebody tag Jennifer C. Because I don't want to say anything that's not correct. It's always Jackson who says she did not do it and she is innocent. Karen has had opportunities to say she didn't do it and doesn't. Thoughts? She has said it. Make mine in Minnie. I'm not sure. You've had a lot of really great comments tonight, and I don't think I've ever seen you in this chat before. So I'm not sure if you changed your name, but she said it. She said it before, maybe to Rotten Mango. I never harmed a hair on John O'Keefe's head. Wait, what true crime? She definitely has seen it. There may just be things, Jennifer, that you have not seen. And so I think that I have heard her say it. And so I see where you're coming from, but I think that I have heard her say it. It's me, Andrea says Aiden was demonetized over his opinion of the vaccine. That's where Bri-Bri's Temu plaque came in, right? Because that's right. That is right. Liz Marie CLE says red lines, meaning what? Instead of the highlighter color that I chose, I suppose I could do that moving forward if everyone seems to not like the highlighting colors and they can't read it. It's an option. Thank you for being here for 30 months. Oh my God, Liz Marie, CLA. CLA, for those of you who don't know, continuing legal education. I think that's why you have it on there. Simona says, first time charter. Thank you, Melanie. I think you meant chatter and it probably changed it, spelled, auto-corrected it. However, since, this is my yacht club, charter would also be appropriate. What if the judge decides to entertain a gag order on all parties? Legally, will he be covered by judicial discretion? Typically somebody moves for a gag order, and usually typically it could apply to the parties and the attorneys. Don't give anybody any ideas. Thank you, Simona, for your 5. EKG says, didn't Higgins say he saw John inside? He said he saw somebody inside that he didn't recognize. A tall man with dark hair. So a tall, starky, dark-haired man, but it was too dark. Who else was it if not John O'Keefe? However, we know that Brian Higgins knew who John O'Keefe was. He had been to his house several times. They were like buddies, even though he was trying to get with his buddy's girl. Thanks, Turtle Boy, again, for your 10 for the grift. Steffi K, I am 90 minutes behind, but I just wanted to tell you that try Riverside FM instead of StreamYard, more advanced and 1/2 the cost. Love it. I had looked into it in the beginning before I started using StreamYard, and there were some reasons that I didn't like it, and I don't remember why, but if you're saying that it's improved, then it has everything StreamYard has. It's, I don't know. It's hard. I don't like change. Also, StreamYard integrates with YouTube very well, and I can pull up I don't know. There's another one that Brother Counsel talked about. I forget what it's called. I looked into that too. I haven't tried it though, but I think that it's limited as to how many people you can have on. It's a whole thing. Thank you though. I will check into it. Brett says Longwood Galleria is a mall near BIDMC and Brigham Hospitals in Boston. It was a food court worker using a PA system. Oh, wow. when Brian Albert was eating lunch. Thank you, Martina, for your super sticker and for tuning in from New Zealand. Karen said, Julie Grant switched when Coffindoffer started appearing. Thank you, Karen, for being here for 20 months and for being a boots on the ground at the Edric Foss trial. My calendar says there's a Foss hearing on Friday, correct? Somebody said in the chat the other day that it was tomorrow. And I don't think it's tomorrow. I think it's on Friday. Proctor's bottomless drawer says, I read in the UK press that she was on camera doing it, but pleading not guilty. I thought that was strange. Looked online and found you. Oh, I love that for us. I love you, Mama Hot. Thanks, Caroline, for becoming a member. Rusty Bedspring says, what could be a punishment for lawyers being disingenuous? I understand everything in a filing has to be considered truth by the court, but an officer of the court outright lying to the court should have consequences. Well, they can be sanctioned. They can be sanctioned, depending on the egregious nature of it. And the other side would have to move for sanctions and move to have it stricken. And that can be done. Patience. Rusty Bedspring is patience. Thank you for your 20. Decline says, just because. Oh, thank you for your 10. Friend of Dog gifted 10 memberships. You are very sweet and kind. Oh, you know what? I too can gift memberships, which I think I'll do in a couple minutes. And Decline threw in another 10 and just said, because we love you. This is hilarious because Mom's Biscotti says, I started following me. She started following me after Roberta Glass. After Roberta Glass tried to say she could tell Karen was guilty because of dirty looks. I was disgusted and shocked. That's when I found Melanie and unsubbed to Roberta Glass. You know what would be even funnier is if you said that you found me because Roberta Glass was trashing me all the time. And she was. She was trashing me consistently. Do you guys remember? I remember. She would do entire streams about me. It was wild. I'd never heard of this woman before. Had no idea who she was. And she did. It was crazy. I don't know if she's still around, but Kraft Haskell says Karen is winning. Case is being reopened because of her. We just watched it. They're demanding it. The public defender, the head of all public defenders, is demanding it. Wait, what? True crime. Thanks for your 5. Says the fact that Proctor and Not So Good mentioned essay of their girlfriends should get their corrupt butts in jail. I am not surprised. Disgusting. Thank you for your 5. Ms. Nancy says, can we get that info too? I want names and docket numbers too. Thanks, Ms. Nancy, for being here for 20 months. Jeannie Karen Reed, governor from Massachusetts, says, what a great day to be alive. Thanks for tuning in from across the pond. And look at Darlene coming in here and gifting 5 memberships. I too can gift memberships, which I will do in just one moment. So stick around. Remember, today's the last day for 20% off in the merch shop. Thank you, Kia. Says that somebody's been trying to get in touch with me. It'd be great to have her on. You know what? You could give her my, I don't think I got an email from her. If I did, I get hundreds of emails. If you want to give her my email and she wants to try again, hopefully she sent it to fanbase@mlittlelaw.com. That's the only one that I use. Thank you very much, Kia, for letting me know that. And it must be about Edric Foss. And she says, happy almost Dave Matthews Band Day. It's happening. It's all happening. Debbie, thank you for your Venmo. It says for coffee. Thank you. Thank you very much. Deborah, thank you for your Venmo. Thank you for doing the God's work. Nobody does the papers like you. Hashtag, she says, Cancun in my calendar. Love it. Lori, thanks for your Venmo. Says, are we being punked? Julie Grant was free Karen Reed with a giant, an emoji with giant eyes. Betsy, XOXO, love you more. Love you more, Bets. Thanks for your Venmo. Stop it. Josie, that can't be real. I'm not even gonna say that out loud, but I'm hilarious. You made me laugh. Kathleen, thank you so much for your Venmos. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate you so much. There we go. All right. That's interesting. Hold on a second. Oh, that's so funny. Classic City Crime Podcast put up a Facebook post saying that there's a list of content creators that are not covering Tara Baker's family. And that we have, I guess, unfair coverage of the Edric Foss case. I guess he doesn't like it because, he made his money from the Tara Baker podcast. And then he also helped enact the Coleman Baker Act. And here's what he says. YouTube links of creators and shows who are not covering Tara's side and who haven't invited anyone from our team to discuss. Lawyer, Melanie Little. Well, thanks for linking my channel so people on Facebook can find me. I appreciate that. Something's off. Then it says Mel in particular, Kat Knott Williams, Infamous Sylvia, and Emily C. There you go. Thank you very much for sending that to me. Thank you, Darlene. Everything is shaking. Thanks, Kelly, for sending that to me. I appreciate you. Jeannie, thank you for your very generous Venmo. Says, love your YouTube channel. I learned so much. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I don't want to read this out loud, but you have my deepest sympathy. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about your son. That is horrific. And I am sending you all my love and prayers, and that should happen to no one ever. Oh man, it's just crazy. Oh, good citizen Weymouth, send me her new sizes. Could you send me her new sizes? I appreciate you. I'll write back to you. We have a baby model, but the baby model outgrew the merch. Duh, I didn't even think of that. I thought you had old pictures of her in the merch though. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give some memberships now, so give me a minute. So that I can do that. And I appreciate you so. Oh, and Turtle Boy goes live at 9 o'clock. You know what? If you guys want, I will teleport you all over there. So let me just get onto my own YouTube channel and gift some memberships. I think they give me like 10 a month that I can gift. And here we go. I'm going to get 5 members. Ready, set, go. And yes, Lawyer, was on that list. I gifted 5 memberships. Congratulations to number 1, no one. Pretty Eyes 111, not Sarah Lee 358, nay nay, and boring Carrie. Oh, Carrie, I hope you're not boring. I have the tallow linked in my Amazon list, which is in the show notes below this video. So check that out. It has changed my skin. It's amazing. It's amazing. I never even knew what grass-fed beef tallow was, and my skin has changed. This is makeup free. I have no makeup on. I put a little mascara on. That's it. I was in the sun. I have a ring light, and that is it. Changed my life. I want to reach out to the owner of this company. It's a family-run company. They make it on their farm somewhere. She's got 5 kids too. And we like to help people because that's what we do here. All right, should I set up a redirect? Or you guys want me to send you over to Turtle Boy so you don't even have to go find him? Wasn't that crazy, that Julie Grant stuff? Okay, tomorrow is Dave Day. For those of you who celebrate, it is Dave Day tomorrow. Dave is here. He's in New York. My boyfriend, Dave Matthews, is here. I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time to. Because I got to get right up to the rail. That's what I do. Thank you, Jody, for becoming a member. And look at me. I get to 5 members. Thank me, too. So you're going to want to make sure you have your subscription active. You're going to want to make sure that you have all of your notifications set. You're going to want to make sure that you like the stream, that you try and hype the stream if you can. I don't know if hyping really works for people with certain numbers of subscribers. I am at, what am I at right now? Hang on. Because here's the thing. I'm in that private competition, that fake competition in my own mind with Billy Bush because he surpassed me in subscribers, and we can't allow that to happen. We're over 135,000, 135 and change. I think Billy Bush is like at 136 or something. And I think I surpassed Vinnie Politan, so at least I got that going for me, right? I mean, look, for 135,000 subs, we get a ton of views. I get over 1 million watch hours per month, which is fantastic. You guys are loyal and you watch and you are here all the time. And I love that so much for us. But if you look at me, I'm someone who has 135,000 subscribers. YouTube gives you like a crazy amount of analytics. It's like insane. And it tells me like the other channels that my viewers watch, like the top channels that my viewers watch. And as of like this month, it'll say, where do I find it? I don't know. They keep changing where everything is. Okay, so the other creators that my people watch, well, where the hell did they put it? They keep moving everything around and I can't find it. But typically it's like Emily Baker, Lawyer You Know, Turtle Boy, and you know, Emily Baker has over 850,000 subs. I think that Lawyer You Know is up to like 500,000. So this little channel is doing pretty well as far as watch hours and views for a channel that only has only 135,000 subs. So thank you guys for being with me so much of your life, because I do appreciate you so much. I'll figure out where it is and we'll talk about it another day. All right. I got to go watch hockey because let's go Vegas. Do we have a score? I'll find out. For those of you who want to know. Oh, do you want me to set up a redirect to Aiden? Hold on. I can do that too. If he allows it, the creator has to allow it. Some creators didn't even know that they had to allow it. And I had to like tell them, like, listen, I'd love to send my audience to you, but you don't have it set up. Here's how you set it up. Turtle Boy watching me watch him is pretty funny too. Which he does sometimes, I've heard. Well, oh, here it is. Episode 884 is coming up at 9 p.m. So it is now 8:40. You have 20 minutes to go get yourselves a little snack, some popcorn, a drink. Did anybody see Backrooms? I saw Backrooms with my girls last night, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So we should talk about that sometime. Okay. All right, you guys. I love you so much. I'm going to see you really soon. If I don't see you soon, I'm going to die. Stay cool, stay kind, stay classy. Above all, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read on the internet or hear on the internet. And make sure your notifications are set for part 2. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Peace, my friends. Peace. Thanks, moderators. I love you so much. Bye.